Meh. Hello. That should be it. Hello. Ah. I'm gonna put the volume down on my headset. There we go. Is it space time? It is space time. Hello. Space time. Same old, same old. Just gonna wait for Discord to update. It's gonna wait for not Stream Elements to update because Stream Elements doesn't seem to update anymore. Oh yeah, I need to pop the chat out so I can actually read it while playing. Pop out chat. Move that to this side. Space Cat Boy. Hello, Angika. How you doing? And also, hello, Gamer. Hello, Ringo. And was it Speedy? Yes, hello, Speedy. And hello, Raphael. Oh, I'll take that. Hello, Scarf. Z. There we go. That's now solidified the chat so I can see it. Anyway. Just got to read 6 after... Oh, yeah. While I wait, I might as well pop in... No, I don't need to wait. I've... Apparently Discord's already updated. How much do I have? I've got enough for 3 rolls. Hello, Ringo. Yes. Okay, so I've got 3 roll and I've got 2 more after. Okay.
My name's Gummy. You must be the doctor. Thank you and everyone from Rhodes Island for helping us. I don't have any special skills, but I'll do what I can as good as I can.
I'm never sure what to do with the audio with it. Music audio is always quite quieter compared to the game audio. I don't think I ever set that though. Game audio, voice audio. Hello, GD. Sounds fine. Okay, I just want to make sure because on the when I look at the audio levels, it seems as if the voice lines are as loud, if not louder, than my own voice. So that's what I get worried about. But I suppose it's not too bad because there's not really any dialogue in the game, so it's not the same. Still 4-0 on my end for Snakebird versus Moo Moo. Oh. By the way, before I forget, do you remember when St. Carmen asked Calcit if the land ship is... What ship would be? Oh, if the land is a ship, what ship would it be? Oh. I very vaguely remember something along those lines.
I am Ansel, a medical intern.
Hello, Ansel.
I'll be assisting with surgery and internal medicine.
Yeah. Alright, last one. Anything? Ah, okay.
Where am I? Who am I?
I didn't even get a single... No, not even a single duplicate. They were all already done. Okay. Certificate. Anything? I'll do those later. I'll grab this while I'm here. I need to make sure I go through all this soon enough. Anyway. So yeah. Tomorrow's arc. Yeah, I realised the name was different when I first saw it on Bilibili, and I was like, why is Google translating it into tomorrow's arc? And then I eventually realised, oh, that's what it's actually called. But yeah, so I did a dumb last time. I stopped before doing the tutorial because I was thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just leave the tutorial for next stream. That'll be a nice way to start the session. I needed the tutorial in order to do the side stories. I needed to do the tutorial in order to do those daily things that people kept telling me to do. It was like, ah. So I noticed that on, I think, the Sunday, and I'm like, oh, I can't actually do anything today. Oh well. Hello, Christmas. Enjoying Lone Trail Story? I am. I'm very much enjoying it. Anyway, cutting edge architecture. Nasty head of engineering always has novel ideas for buildings. Okay. Gravity switches. Rocks and gravity switches can be activated by heavy enemies and operators with block 1 or higher to change the direction of gravity. Operator, attack speed, and enemy move. Is this similar to that other thing where there was like that line that had to like bend through everything? I remember that. I don't know if it's the same one though. Oh, it's probably not. Oh, it's literally gravity. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Okay. So long as you have 10 days, you should have enough. There are 20 side missions and you can only do 2 per day. Oh, okay. That'll be fine then. I can go through. So the lightest operators are as heavy as fat enemies. Yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, that's weird that the heavy enemies are the same weight class as the operators. You'd think it'd be like a 3-block operator or something. Like, you know, if you've got the heavy enemies, okay, you'd think the friendly equivalent would be a defender or something. It's more when a button is pushed, the other can't be. That makes sense. You know, you said you're avoiding gameplay and story cutscenes from Enfield. So what about the official website dropping lore bits about... Right. I am not sure at the moment. I'm sort of stepping around it like a minefield right now. But definitely going to be looking into it. There's a lot about Enfield that I really need to look into. I'm avoiding the game itself, but I will probably still look at the lore bits and such that are available. Basically anything other than the story itself. Damn, Jessica shooting right away like in the anime. Like, what was it? Counts it as like, so avoid confrontation immediately after Jessica shoots at a reunion member. Alright, we're in the lab monitoring enemy communications. I like that they just used... I like that they just used the chibi sprite for it, though it just looks really weird compared to the other operator profile pictures. Oh, I forgot to read what it actually said. It was level just a moment ago, but now there's an unnatural slope. Okay, yeah, that's right, he said something about what's wrong with the floor. Whatever, the enemy's right in front of us. Advance!
I'll show them what I can do.
Also, you could play stages off camera, but skipping story when, skipping story, then reading. I mean, I could. I prefer not to, though. The enemies are having a hard time moving. The lab's defense system can tilt the entire floor. It's like standing on a giant seesaw. Okay. Oh, it's got like a little dial. Okay. The floor is tilted down right now, causing us to be pulled down by gravity. To move up, the enemy must fight against gravity, slowing their movement speed. Heavier enemies are affected more.
No,
Oh, so it's on down by default at the moment, by the looks of it. I'm assuming so because it's lit up. Okay, I was hoping to ask about the lore video you made because it interested me a lot. Hoping you make a follow-up. I definitely want to. I'm just sort of at the moment trying to figure out how to write it in a way that doesn't just repeat what every other YouTuber has already said at the moment. So I'm probably going to focus less on what's happening in stuff like I did the first time, and more so just focusing entirely on what I said previously and building up on it. That's probably what I'm going to do. We'll see, have to see. Meanwhile, our operators deployed on the direction of gravity, i.e. downwards, gain increased attack speed. Okay. Make use of high ground. Okay, so if we're pointing towards the movement of gravity, I'm guessing. So down.
I'll show them what I can do.
Okay, this one's going to now activate it. Yep, there it is.
I'll show them what I can do.
The floor is spinning. Now the enemies are speeding up. What's going on? Analysis complete. Oh, yeah, it is. It's gone all the way down. The enemy with a weight of 3 or higher has stepped on an up altitude switch. Yep. Oh yeah, the ball does move as well. Interesting. Enemies move slower upslope but faster downslope. The effect on our slide has also been reversed. Okay. Side. Okay, so now I have to deploy someone. Okay, I'm going to be using Vanguards quite a lot, which is probably going to make quite a lot of people in chat happy. On the other hand, operators with block 1 or higher can also step on a switch. I see. It's like a seesaw. That's literally what Doberman said earlier. Falling towards the side that stepped on. Exactly. Step on Step on the switch and delay the attack. Okay. Yeah, I... Imagine if I just did that instead. Just did the exact opposite. There we go.
Not one step backward. Freeze!
The enemy is going to step on the switch again. Don't worry, when the switch is currently being stood on, the opposite switch is disabled. Oh, okay, so... Right. So because the person is physically on the switch, it will stay on. So it's not quite the same. As long as we keep the switch on, so basically as long as a person on the switch doesn't die, we just need to ensure operator Yato's safety, and this is where she comes in. In case you're ever unsure which way to tilt, yep. I mean, to be fair, the dial on the side also tells you anyway. Okay, can you give me... Yep.
I'll show them what I can do.
There we go. And I'm going to do that.
You'll pay for that.
Alright, there we go. Don't just the floor get tilted and gravity stays unaffected. So yeah, gravity isn't changing, it's more so you're feeling the effect of gravity in one direction or the other based on how it's tilted. So it's more so, if you're going uphill, gravity is working against you as it's harder to go upwards. If you're tilting down, if you're moving downwards in the tilt, gravity is working in your favor because you can go faster down slope. So it's not the gravity that's being affected, but rather how it's affecting you. Okay, there we go. New area unlocks, the shaft. When you unlock certain events in an Otome game. Alright, front stage, backstage. Red stage, blue stage. There are always sacrifices to be made behind the scenes. I would go start the investigation thing now so you can do it while progressing. Let me just have a quick look at what this is. Oh yeah, that's quick and easy. Alright, let's have a look at it then. Okay, welcome to the case investigation system. So I've got 2 lots. Okay, I'll take that. Nice. Right, so I've got 2 lots and I'm guessing there's 4. Alright, start investigation. Hang on, let me just... The second box, 3 mats. Okay. Yeah, the shaft is part of the Arc 1 project. It focuses energy and projects it to Hammer, manipulating enough energy to operate multiple nomadic cities at the same time. Okay, so basically everything we've learned from the previous 2 stages. Preparing information. Okay, that's just that. Alright, let's start. So let's just have a look anyway. I want to see how it is. You can spend 1 authorized investigation permit. Yeah. What did that do? Let me just double check. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Always use them, don't leave them unused. Yeah, I'll most likely... If one of those side quests come up with something for a stage that I've already done, I'll do it even off stream. Like... Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. I wasn't sure if I was thinking of Near Light or Il Siracusano. It was one of them that had a similar sort of thing. No, Siracusano had its own side story stages, if I remember correctly. You get 2 a day, can have up to 4. Okay. These texts are kind of spoilers here. Not really, you learn about that in the previous 2 stages, about the energy and the hammer and the shaft. It wasn't anything that I didn't already know. I think I'm still good. No. I'll get in another Vanguard.
Che ti serve?
Hurry. All the headlines will be... the Vice President's visit to Rhine tomorrow. The Editor-in-Chief will have our heads if we don't get a good photo. Wait, I can't find my press pass. Oh, you moron. What? You can't go in without it. Go find a good spot. I'll look for it. So many people. I couldn't even get to the cafe downstairs for breakfast. A public visit by the Vice President, broadcast live. Every newspaper is here. It's a wonder they didn't completely block the roads. You see, when it's question mark. Also, wasn't this one of the pioneer models from one of the pioneer sprites from the Dorothy's Vision? So I'm assuming this must be one of the soldiers, probably. Hello, fellow ordinary citizen. It was. Okay. You see it, Rosmontis? What? First factory, then Rin Lab. Tremont likes to block off a place when something happens. Rin Lab is different from the factory, isn't it? They blocked off some of the key roads leading in, probably out of security concerns for the Vice President's convoy. Which causes other streets to fill up. Did they think people wouldn't see if they blocked it off? That's dumb. Mm-hmm. Doctor, what are you looking at? Will it rain today? Hi, I thought you were going to start 10 minutes from now. Oh, sorry, I was originally going to start at 7, then I decided to change it to 8, and then I decided to change it to 7:30. So I I kept going back and forth between times, so I ended up starting a little bit earlier than I changed it to. Parkour. Will it rain today? Well, it does look cloudy. Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't look cloudy. Maybe I'll shut up. Sunny all day. The hotel TV had the weather report on when we were leaving. I guess he didn't see it. Anyway, it's not the rainy season yet. Another sunny day. The urban planning of Tremont is intricate. The gaps between the staggered skyscrapers allowing sunlight to pass through. For the sun to paint each street with warm light every day in these early days of winter. Evenly, rather. Not every day. I don't know where I saw every day in that. Hello, Knight. I really like it when it's super sunny, but there's enough clouds to make it rain. Yeah! You look up to see a dark cloud in the distance. That ain't in the distance, that's right on top of us. Floating nonchalantly in the sky. The wind is blowing toward the cloud, and it looks to be moving away from the city. But it never disappears. You also see the busy streets, the parked cars, a flash of light up high in the distance, and well-disguised passerby. You keep a poker face while urging the other two girls on. Poker face, poker face. Sorry, that sort of went in my head. Did you find something, Doctor? Could be mainland Foundation spies, could be army operators. Let's go, Muesli is waiting. Army. Don't worry, Doctor, we'll protect you. That was a mistake, that was confusion last time. Don't forget today's mission. I know. You've said it a dozen times before we left. I promised to listen to you, and I keep my promises. Do you? I think we're there. Victorian Sunny, yeah. Doctor, we meet again. As usual, I'm the one waiting. I'm not late. I'm a minute early. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. Well, I got here before you. I got myself ready as soon as your message came in. Well, this is your company, after all. Well, this is what you asked for. Plans for the Rin Lab building, and visitors passes for you and your young assistants. I called in a few favours to get your clearance to most of the building and data. Today only. See, okay. I can sort of see Rosmontis, but isn't it a little bit dangerous bringing Ifrit into this building? Like... I don't know, both equally dangerous. True, but my point was more so that Rosmontis doesn't have a link to Rin Lab specifically. It's more so Ifrit that did. That's skeptical, do you? Someone else mentioned it as well. I mean, it's I don't mean anything bad by what I said. I just mean, like, the amount of times Ifrit has said that she'll do homework or something and then, you know, not. I suppose she's grown, it seems anyway, and this is a little bit more serious. Ifrit and Rosamond just going berserk here would be funny, like Godzilla vs. King Kong. There are a lot of hidden spaces in the building, both above and below ground. My tip is to have someone focus on the underground. What about you? I have to accompany Mr. Vice President on his Rhine tour, of course. Christian's not here. That's a really difficult name to say because I keep saying Christian instead. Christian's not here. And we're missing a few section heads. Can't have anyone else calling out. I'll give you a big personal thank you when we're all done. And she's gone. It's always clones. Oh, serious music. Does that say Bieber? Okay, anyway. I read your resignation... That does say Bieber, doesn't it? I read your resignation letter, Bieber. Why so sudden? I'm sorry, Director Jara. I discovered something yesterday. Go on. Energy's wing has 38 ceiling lamps and 21 vents. The carpet beneath our feet looks the same at first glance, but a closer look reveals that there are actually 3 versions. Subtly different in pattern and fringes. I didn't know you were planning on going into interior design, Bieber. You would have done the same if all the projects you were involved in are up in the air. And the only work you have to do each day is to reread the reports that you wrote the day before. I understand. It's hard work, keeping your guys calm while pretending that everything is business as usual. I could live with hard work, Director. The labs have always been relatively independent of one another, and research is modular. Everybody goes about their business, even if something happens to Site 359, even if Ferdinand quits unexpectedly. Ah yes, quits. At the lower levels, people don't know much and believe this is no different from any other of the research accidents that have happened before. The kind that every tech company deals with every now and then. But I know this one is different. Control has virtually vanished without trace, and Ferdinand suddenly resigned. Every day is like sitting on a fire. There's been no formal change of leadership in Energy, no one to tell me what happened or what I should do. Now the Vice President is touring Rhine. It makes my stomach seize up when I walk into the lab and see the excitement in everyone's eyes. So you've talked to Volvo Koczynski? Yeah, so you've talked to Volvo Koczynski's headhunter rather, Sonia, right? Yes. I'm not reprimanding you, Bieber. Your position at Rin Lab allows you to see more than the average employee, but not the full picture. It's normal to feel anxious. The responsibility falls on me. I asked you to keep things calm in the energy section, but neglected your own emotional needs. It's not your fault, just weakness on my part. Why do you think the Vice President is making a sudden visit? I don't know, but He'll find out what that were. The press conference that he held a few days ago has to do with us. Really? Well, that's all I can tell you for now. How about this? Take 1 month off, paid leave. Maybe it'll be enough for you to clear your head and return to your post. I mean, hell, if I'm offered that, I would say yes, because even if I do consider looking for a job, that's a whole month worth to look for a job while getting paid. If you still insist on resigning after that, I won't stop you. Rin Lab grew from a single lab to 10 sections, running more than 100 large-scale projects simultaneously. It has seen bigger storms. It has survived them all. Just give it a little thought. Sorry for the trouble, Sonia. The staff need a way to vent in times like this. Bieber should be the last one. If it's okay, the energy section is okay for now. Yeah, catch you for lunch or dinner one of these days. Give Tin Man my thanks. Come in. Oh, you again. Wait. Bieber left, then Justin comes in. We are in different but still the wrong businesses, yep. That was definitely deliberate. Wait, sorry. Oh yeah, how many does that make this week? Not your problem. Just don't send them to business if you're reassigning them, rather. I don't need flighty idiots like that. They're cornerstones of this company, just as you are. And I may be old, but I'm not senile enough to assign a PhD in energy mechanics to be one of your salesmen. Oof. Damn. The Vice President is almost here. I doubt you have the time to fool around in my office. Just giving you a heads up. I'm seeing a few new investors today, and I have a number of important remote meetings to attend. This guy's a businessman, so I'm absolutely certain he's a villain. Since the Vice President is here to inspect research, I'll excuse myself. None of the phones in business stopped ringing the day the Vice President announced his visit to Rhine. I had to get someone to add 2 dedicated hotlines. It's a clear signal. The world of Trimountain finance. There we go. Jesus. No, not just Trimount. Not just finance. Every Colombian who ever has a passing interest in investing has their eyes on us. That Bieber has a lot of stock options, doesn't he? I say you just accept his resignation, then hire him back at a lower salary when the company's stock soars and he begs for it. Oof. Oof. Yep. Typical businessman. Rin Lab is not a stock market toy, Justin. People need to say that to a lot of people in the real Colombia. Now that is hurtful. Mayor Benjamin, Councilman Chris, okay, just a random name there, Deputy Phil, Commander Colette, even the Chief Justice. That's just a few of the people I'm talking to today. Could Kristen have kept playing her hide-and-seek game with Blake if I hadn't continued to sweet-talk all of these friends? You utilised a lot of resources. Just doing my job. And one correction, I'm not a cornerstone of Rin Lab. A cornerstone exists for other people to build upon. I don't have the same loyalty to Christian as you do. I chose her and Ryan. I helped her because I wanted to take control of my own fate, of everyone's fates. This isn't a game. Is Chief Justice an actual title? Never heard of it before. Yes, Chief Justice is an actual a title. They're, I believe, the head of the court. Or at least they are in general. I don't know if that's the case for America, or if that's a different name. But I'm fairly certain the Chief Justices are the 6 or however many justices are on that board that make the laws in the US. I think they're the Chief Justices, if I remember correctly. Head of the US Supreme Court. Yes, there we go. So is it one Chief Justice, or are they all Chief Justices? I can never remember. News from Maylander? Yes, sir. They have personnel deployed around the area to ensure your safety. Oh, okay, so the Vice President does know about Maylander and is on their side. Okay. 1 chief plus 8 judges. Okay. Good. How much further? 2 more blocks until Rin Lab headquarters. Cancelling today's tour is always an option, sir, if you're concerned. If the Maylander Foundation can't be trusted, then cancelling the tour won't be enough to protect me. I can't very well skip a class to see the mining platforms chase the sun because I'm scared of exams, like I did when I was young. That is oddly specific, but I guess that works. Not when I'm Vice President of the Columbia Union. You should get some rest while you can, sir. I doubt there will be many more chances today. Do you remember how I described Tremont at yesterday's banquet? The future of Columbia. You said you love this youthful city, just as you love this youthful nation. As a matter of fact, I don't like this place at all. Typical politician. There are no burden beasts, no clouds of dust kicked up by their hooves, no duels for some dumb reason, no pioneering spirit. I'm guessing you were a rancher then. You sound like all of the southern politicians that detest the city whenever they go on campaigns. Or Jimmy Carter. Only white-collar workers and their high-rise buildings that split the sky, and air so clean it makes your stomach squirm. I feel like the air would be cleaner in the country, not the city, but okay. I believe that Tremountain circulation system employs... Don't, Pavard. I'll be hearing far too many explanations like that over the next few hours. You don't like dealing with scientists? I won't go that far. They're simple. They can go on and on about their products, blueprints or ideals, sometimes outlandish, sometimes crazy, mostly incomprehensible. Tremont has air purifiers, so it's actually, so the air is actually cleaner in the city. Damn! Would be nice if we had some of that in the real world. All I need to do is smile, nod, and shake their hands when they're done, giving them a few words of encouragement, and preferably not doing the same thing the previous Vice President did and touch a piece of equipment in NASA that specifically says do not touch. Much simpler than dealing with the old folks of the Special District. You represent the state. The people like to see Columbia support science. It's good for your image, and your odds in the next election. The vice presidential election, Columbia's biggest political event. But I'm thinking that perhaps I shouldn't spend too much time and effort on it. Okay, so the election for the vice president is separate to the election for the president, as opposed to the elections of the country that Columbia is based on, which is just a election for the party, and whichever president goes in, the vice president gets in. Okay, interesting. You've achieved a lot in the past several years. The polls indicate you enjoy a high level of support. The representatives who support you have also been in contact with that influential Volpo director of Rin Lab. It's not easy to gain the support of big tech. You have a head start. Big tech mentioned. No, I meant in comparison with Mark Max, the president ever guiding Columbia to her promised future. Wait, is Max still the president? Or is he just talking about in general? All that national attention surrounding the vice presidential elections just adds to the embarrassment. Oh, he is still the president. Okay, so president for life, or at the very least no term limits, but elections for vice presidency. I'm gonna have to look into Columbia when I eventually get around to writing about it, because it does sound quite interesting. What is this screen showing? The cargo passageway behind Rin Lab. Is it only the Liberia that seems to have these random bird beak-like helmets with the webcam? That is literally a webcam. That looks like a Logitech Brio webcam. Actually, it's more like he had. It has been originally in the US. Winner becomes president. The runner-up, vice president. Well, yeah, but that doesn't seem to be the runner-up, though. That seemed to be a whole-on election. It was an election for vice president. You should probably only look into Columbia after you finish Lone Trail, otherwise you... Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah. I don't even plan on touching Columbia in terms of videos for a while. I've still got to finish Ursus. And then I'll probably do Sargon first before doing Columbia. Or I might do Columbia then Sargon, depending on how it works. Anyway. Cargo passageway behind Rin Lab. A little to the left. Zoom in. Good. Now there shouldn't be any dead zones. The soldier is nervous as he operates the equipment. The colonel has been standing behind him for some time now. His brow furrowed. The 5 blocks around Rin Lab headquarters have all been placed under surveillance. You haven't even started it. Hey, I have written it. I've just gone through several rewrites. Because things changed. Although by the looks of it, Chapter 10 was probably the last time Ursus is really talked about, and I think that was the only time I really looked into it. Not sure if we know much about Sargon. There's quite a few lore bits from events. At least enough to go on some premise. Anyway. Yep, that's read that bit. Many figures are moving on the screen. Key areas have been blocked off, but there continues to be a considerable crowd nearby. Sargon is kind of connected with the US, Columbia. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm not sure if I want to do Sargon first, then Columbia, or Columbia first, then Sargon, because it sort of, because it basically depends on how influential one is to the other. And also how much lore there is for one to the other. So, anyway. Of course, the crowd also provides good cover for their operations. The soldier scans each monitor, not daring to even blink. What's the situation on the ground? All undercover and support units are in position. Good. Where is Ferdinand? He's on the phone. The phone? Yes. Should I summon him? Never mind. No need to tell him. What about the colleagues in the defense section that he talks about? We've taken over. Good. A shadow flashes across the display on the bottom left before appearing on the other screens. It is the Columbia... Oh, it is the Columbia displayed on the top of a car. Okay, there we go. Several black vehicles maintain equal separation with it, both in front and behind, with machine-like discipline. Hopefully the main vehicle has a roof, and not like the mistakes people made in the real country. Begin. The Vice President convoy is in sight. Begin. Have a nice tour, Jackson. For a moment I thought that said jackass. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, no, maybe not. Mr. Vice President, there have been reports that Triton factory explosion in District 13 was linked to Rin Lab. Do you visit... Oh, is your visit to Rin Lab at this time intended to dispel such speculation? Excuse me. District 13 is still under lockdown. Did you authorize the Army's actions? And how long will the lockdown remain in effect? Will you be meeting with Control, right? Excuse me, Mr. Vice President, about your schedule in Tremont. Patience, please. There will be a press conference after the Vice President has concluded his tour. We have set aside a space to accommodate members of the press. Please, follow me and refrain from disturbing other staff members in their work. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. There's no one else? Damn. Shut him up. Look at that. Hiding weapons in recording equipment. Search him and make sure he doesn't have anything else on him. There's a discrepancy in the documents. Find a way to check the credentials of all the reporters in the press area. Be discreet rather. I got this one. No commotion. Oh damn, okay. Whoa. And these guys are failing miserably. Lost contact with A1, A2, A3. Have all our locations been compromised? HQ, I need immediate instruction on whether to continue operation. Haha. Ugh. Wait, aren't you the one from before? That's the 9th one. If you're used to dealing with terrorists, you know a thing or two about planning a terror attack. Right, this is Maylander. Interesting. Report. All potential vantage points within sniper range of Rin Lab have been secured. We have neutralized 9 snipers and 11 disguised assassins. Continue to monitor the area around Rin Lab. Roads, vehicles, pedestrians, leave no stone unturned. Roger. The Vice President has entered the Rin building. it will be difficult for us to deploy directly inside the building. Do you intend to be on scene personally? No. I got a message from a colleague. There's somewhere else I need to be. Imagine the military planning to kill the vice president. Well, if you just believe in some people, they technically took out a president already. Share intel with Doctor of Rhode Island. Follow any orders issued by the Doctor. Acknowledged. Oh, big boy power armor. Power armament, apparently. This one makes 7. You okay, Responses? Just mass-produced power armor, Doctor. Don't worry, it won't take too much effort. The serial numbers match the ones that the defense section lost, but 5 are still unaccounted for. Should we keep looking? We need to eliminate them before they leave the secret passage, right? They'll cause chaos if they get out, even if they can't get to the Vice President. Good work, Rosamontes. How did you think of using the access permissions granted by Muesli to check the defense section's equipment log? Tiny letters, hang on. Just going down the list of possible options, I didn't expect to strike gold on the first try. I don't think the assassins would throw acid at the Vice President disguised as researchers. Don't make the joke, don't make the joke, don't make the joke, don't make the joke, don't make the jokes. I see. Something feels off. These mechs seem cautious in their movements. It doesn't seem so much an assassination attempt as... Movement, Doctor. Hello, Merwind. Power armor? I was just thinking of, like, didn't expect an assassin to throw acid at the Vice President, and I was about to say, no, that's more of a British thing. It's more of an if you know, you know sort of, Anyway, no, who could be in a secret passage at this hour? Who could be in a secret passage at this hour? At this... Hold it, Rosmontis. Oh, hello. Doctor, Operator Rosmontis, what are you doing here? Never mind us, what are you doing here? I see. Sorry, Doctor. I've been maintaining radio silence because I had infiltrated Ryan to retrieve data for Calcit. As for Calcit's whereabouts, I have no idea either. The remaining power armor. I destroyed 5 before running into you and the Doctor. That makes a total of 12, which matches the number that the defense section lost. And so, I went to find someone. Oh, hello. See, this is what I meant from before. You can see the guy's face behind the thing. Like, it's not a complete helmet. He's got a helmet around him, and then it's got a faceplate which goes over and in front. And I can only assume that's a screen, because otherwise, with that distance between his eyes and the hole, there'd be no way you could see through that. That's got to be like a screen on the other side. But I just find it interesting that it's not a completely covered helmet. At least I'm assuming that dark spot there is where an eye is supposed to be. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a connector thing. Yeah. I'm guessing the feeling of being dragged out of a suit of power armor is not something you would want to experience again, Reggie. Oh, this guy. Wait, isn't Reggie the person that was with Saria in the flashback in the Rin Lab manga? What orders did Ferdinand give you? He only wanted to borrow a few suits of power armor. Ferdinand can't be trusted. What about you? How do I trust someone who repeatedly ignores the rules that she set, showing up at Rhine whenever she wants, who abandoned all her responsibilities? He took over defense when you left. He paid our wages in the past few years. He remembers our names, our hobbies, even gives us gifts every once in a while. Ferdinand may have been an arsehole. But I have to say, Director Saria, that asshole pays our bills. The Vice President is still inside Rhine. You know the consequences if something happens. We must check everything that Ferdinand may have touched. Just 10 suits of power armor. You have my word. 10? It was 12. Yep, there it is. 10. Okay, I was going to say, I thought I might have been tripping there. I destroyed 7. Saria destroyed 5. But that's impossible. Ferdinand only borrowed 10. I watched him enter the commands myself. What kind of man is Ferdinand Saria? Proud, arrogant, thinks himself better than everyone else. But if there's one thing that sets him above other people, it's that he actually puts his boasts into action. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't think those 10 mechs are for assassinating the Vice President. What? As for the extra 2, looks like he had the army... Oh, looks like he and the army are on guard against each other. Ferdinand doesn't want the Vice President assassinated at Rin Lab. Oh, that makes sense, of course, because he still considers Rin Lab his, or he wants it to be his, or like, you know, anyway, he doesn't think control is good. So, that makes sense. Obviously, he's working with the army, but he doesn't want himself, or rather his company, to take the fall for it. Oh, speaking of. Okay, 3 stars, let's go. Can I wait? Yes, I can. Perfect.
I'll take the lead.
Okay, and then I'll put a... Did that person just move very quickly? Whoa! Why? Why is he moving upwards quickly? It's... Ah! I misread it. It's the other way around. I put it the other way around. God damn it.
This gavel of justice.
There we go. There we go. I read it the other way around as up being... Oh, shit. Oh, okay. That's going to be problematic. Okay, so I need people that are good against this.
Now's the time to help.
This is somewhat unfair. I can't exactly stop it.
Get away from me, please!
Maybe I can do that.
I'll charge the weak spot. Face me!
Oh, that's a lot of people.
クターはいつだって僕の居場所を見つけてくれるんだ。
ドクターの家真っ二つにしちゃうから。
Okay, that wasn't too bad. It's just, that's somewhat inconvenient. Yeah, that was my bad. I had it the other way around. I mixed up which direction it's supposed to be, so I helped the enemy by having someone there to begin with. Oh, you're right. Ifrit would have been a good place to, a good cat operator to use there. The one with the knife reduces block to 0 when the operator is on a button. They put an operator on... Oh, that explains why people were going through her, despite being a defender. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I remembered what it was saying, Merwind. That it was more so that I saw it and thought the opposite. So, like, I remembered the principle of it, but I mixed it the wrong way around. I feel like a kid in a classroom, having a science lesson for the first time. It's no hyperbole at all when I say science is the future of Columbia. I regret not being able to stay longer and hear about your other projects. Well, after hearing the conversation you said before, I know that most certainly is not true. You are always welcome at Rin Lab, Mr. Jackson. Thank you, Director Jara. I hope my visit didn't cause too much inconvenience. Kind of you to say. It was a pleasure to be your tour guide today. Having the famous Marianne Blake as a tour guide alone makes this trip to Tremont worthwhile. Between the two of us, I'm a pretty big fan of yours. I have an autograph poster of your debut film on my office wall. Really? A present from my wife when I was elected. Kindly make a note to follow up with the Special District Government about Rin Lab's application for a new research facility. Ooh. Will do, sir. I guess that will be it for today, Miss Jara. Is she Colombian Marilyn Monroe? She does kind of give me that impression. Or maybe not necessarily a specific actress, but that era of Hollywood is probably... So probably Marilyn Monroe, maybe a bit of other people. I wish you a pleasant stay at Tremont. Thank you. May the sun shine on the next day, as it has today. Come on, mash that photo button. For me, she feels like a bondswoman. Yeah, if you were to give her like a heavy European accent, she would then be a bondswoman. Mr. Vice President, what did you think about your trip to Rhine today? Ask your questions in order, please. We have 10 minutes. There's no rush. 10 minutes is not a lot of time. You heard me right. I'm clapping. Vice President's visit bolsters Rin Lab's claim as industry leader. The headlines write themselves. The tour concluded without incident. The Vice President will leave Rin Lab in 10 minutes. The fact that you're now saying this stuff makes me just think that... It's like, oh, it's done, it's over, there's just 10 minutes and it's gone. Explosion. Doctor? I was joking. Game, I was joking. That's not a prompt. I got the map you sent, Doctor. So there's a secret passage that leads right to the underground structure, but it's not in the plans that Muesli gave you. Leave it to me. I've been sitting here twiddling my thumbs, not frums, thumbs, while you and Rosmontis have fun with the power armor up there. Didn't even see a shadow. Saria is coming for me. Then I have to go to the underground structure too. The Vice President is leaving in a few minutes, right? We can't take any risks. Ifrit, moving out, Doctor. I like that implies that she only just started whispering, meaning the entire conversation beforehand was probably just as loud. I'm back. How are things up there? I'm not sure. I didn't quite make it up to the surface, but there was no commotion. I'm guessing the attack failed. What about us? We activated the jammers and aren't supporting any other units. I don't think anyone is coming here. Ferdinand's route is very well concealed. Let's carry out the plan. It's almost time. The explosives? Set up while you were scouting. 2 tubes of advanced plastic explosives, enough to breach a containment structure. Oh, are they taking something? Interesting. You know, I thought Ferdinand wanted to come back to Rin Lab, but this is the liquefied iridium pipeline used by his energy section. Oh. Oh. No, he's not breaking into something, he's breaking a whole lot of nasty stuff out. The Colonel says he's stuck in the same boat as us. He has no choice. Don't really see the point in blowing this up now, though. Ooh, that's interesting, though. I imagine it must be very flammable as well, so it wouldn't necessarily be a hazard spread, but probably more so a massive boom. I was joking about the explosion. Anyway. The Vice President should have left Rin Lab by now. What good will blowing up the iridium pipes in the underground structure do? The Colonel has his plans. All we need to do is follow orders. Who goes there? Kid? Mate, this is Arknights. There ain't no kid. Ain't no normal kid. Looks like the Doctor's intel was good. Hey, you. I don't know why you're hiding there, but I think you ought to surrender now. Okay, look, imagine being like an assassin or someone with literal explosives about to blow up a very important building with some very important people in it. And then a random, like, kid literally comes up and tells you to surrender. Like, either you're going to be very confused or very concerned. Gift of prophecy, gotta be careful. Yeah, Apollo does seem to bless and curse me sometimes. We lost contact with all units. Yes, sir. Sudden comms failure. The Vice President and his retinue? The press. No sign that anything is amiss. It looks like our guys were neutralized before they could move. Reports indicate that our operations within Rin are also being disrupted by a sudden appearance of some power armor. We're also losing signal from the cameras on the streets. We're losing control of the scene, sir. So, our best laid plans are like a sieve to the intelligence network of Maylander Foundation. Best laid plans of mice and men mean fuck all. I don't think that's how the quote goes. It's not surprising that they're able to respond, given how hastily this assassination plan was hatched. Should we pull out, sir? They're bound to trace the trail back here, sooner or later. No hurry. Mr. Vice President said he would like to have a nice chat with the top researchers. I intend to oblige him. Situation at C1 and C2. Still in position, signal stable. Activate the remote control on the top right of the panel, Riker. Yes, sir. It should be how the quote goes, to be honest. I mean, I'm fairly certain it's basically what the quote says. The remote control Blake referred to is a mundane mechanical button fitted with an old-fashioned safety lock. Mans is about to start a nuke. The soldier enters the password and the cover opens. Mans is about to launch a nuke, revealing the red button. Could this not be any more cliche to... Like, it's either a nuke or a self-destruct, sir. What is this, sir? Remote control for the explosives that will blow up the containment around the liquefied originium pipes. Oh. Look at the screen. According to the routes that Ferdinand provided, the energy section has several liquefied originium pipelines running through the west wing of the Rin Lab. Rin Lab engineering does a thorough job. In addition to standard safety measures, there are also underground containment structures that prevent chain reactions in the event of a leak. Okay, so kind of like a nuclear reactor-ish scenario. The original plan was to cause a leak with the explosion, creating a chance for operatives on the ground to approach Jackson. By chance, however, Jackson's convoy will cross over one of these pipelines on the way back. Your Rin Lab staff? I heard the defense section has a lot of bad-tempered people, but I'm surprised they would hire a kid so young. I told you to surrender. I didn't say you could talk. Oof. I'll try to short stop of turning you to ashes. The Doctor and Saria may want to question you after all. Wait, is that a flamethrower? Stop! There are liquefied originium pipes all around us. I am really worried that someone's going to place blame on it for it. So that's what's going on. The flaming red Savragel makes her decision in a split second. She re-engages the flamethrower's safety lock and swings it hard at the one on the left. Then she charges towards the one on the right and catches the side of his face with her fist. I want to know who's been training her. Like, damn. I mean, okay, yeah, using her fire arts, fair enough. But who the hell decided to teach her to smack shit? I'm somewhat proud, to be honest. Hello, Mikazuki. You're just in time to see Ifrit beat the shit out of people. In the time it takes for a flame to flicker, Ifrit is back on her 2 feet again, dusting off her palms. Well, it can't be Saria, because I'm fairly certain Saria is still sort of not supposed to be around her much, unless that's changed. Gah. I think my nose is broken. Run, kid. What? What's that sound? Damn, he started the countdown. Less than 1 minute left. I will say... I will give credit. They did warn the kid. They didn't necessarily need to, especially if they weren't going to escape anymore. They could have very well taken her out with them. So, I'll give a little bit of credit there. Can C1 and C2 make it back? Their contributions will be remembered, as well all others who gave their lives this day. But Colonel, it's an entire convoy, 5 cars, a dozen people in the retinue, possibly even Rhine staff members and reporters. and other passerby. You have your orders, Riker. But I'll hit the switch myself. That's my job. Your job is to report as soon as you get a signal from C1 and C2. I won't defend myself if I stand trial for this someday. So I'm not going to waste my time explaining myself to my soldiers now. Yes, sir. We have the signal. The Vice President's convoy is reaching the target area on the west side of Rin Lab. Colonel? Blake places his hand on the cold mechanical button. A chill runs up his fingers, and he pauses for a couple of seconds. There must be a part of him that's thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Like, there's gotta be. The soldier glances at his superior officer, whose brow is furrowed behind his sunglasses. The soldier realizes that his commander is even more anxious than he is. Damn it all to hell. But he presses it regardless. There is no sound, only an explosion on some of the screens. On the tiny screen, the collapsing street were like foam boards underneath bubbling flame. Then the screen goes black, the camera destroyed by flying debris. There is no sound, but Blake and the soldier could hear the deafening boom in their heads. That did a really good job of pointing out the cold side of that sort of thing. Because a lot of those operations are commanded way away from where it's happening, especially like drone footage, for example. The surface should be close, but I can't see the path with all these stone slabs in the way. Hey, are you two okay? Oh no, a chain explosion. Ifrit! Ifrit hears a familiar voice through the echoes of the explosion and the falling rubble. Saria? I'm here! This is going to mirror the first time they meet. I hear you. Hang in there. I have a lock. Ifrit can hear Saria's voice shaking. Something touches her fingertips in the darkness. Calcium crystals? Saria's Originium Arts. Like a stream of water, the crystals fill the gaps in the rubble, then expand, releasing a sickening crack. Saria has forced an opening in the collapsed structure. A hand reaches down from above. Ifrit grabs it and feels it pull her up, while the calcium tunnel shatters behind her. This is basically, how they, this is basically how they first met as well. Or very similar, at least. I like the soft music to it as well. Don't move. I'm fine. Just a little dusty. Your face. Were you crying? I wasn't crying. Just a little anxious, that's all. Alright. Your hands are dusty too, Saria. You're making my face even dirtier. Oh, sorry. And these two? They were the ones who planted the bomb that blew up the liquefied originium pipelines, so I brought them out. I couldn't stop the explosion. You did well. I think all things considered, she did do a good job, especially considering she's not actually an operator yet. She may not have stopped that, but she still managed to get out the people responsible, which is very valuable. You did... Oh, you really did. Wait, did I miss it? Yeah. What is it, Ifrit? Oh. Silence! What are you doing here? Ifrit is already an operator, not just not elite operator. Oh, right, yeah, I forgot about... Yeah. Right, I remember now. Yeah, she was talking about becoming an elite operator. I forgot the elite part of it. She is an operator, yeah. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. Silence? What are you doing here? Silence. Why are you here? Oh, come on. Shush. There's a little bit more important things that have happened. Oh, okay. They knew about it. Okay, so the cars were just a distraction. That makes sense. Of course it will be a decoy. That's how it always is. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Pavard. Is it Pavard or Parvard? No, Pavard, because there's no R there. It's safe to go now. The convoy? Just a couple of mechs blown up. No need to worry. Oh, good. It wasn't even normal people as well. Okay, that's good. Honestly, props for Rin Lab and the non-pilotable, or the the pilotable mechs. This car has been modified by the engineering section. It may not look like much, but you can trust it. I hope you brought your driver's license, Mr. Pavard. We'll take a special passage on the east side. We've planned a new route for you. The rest of your retinue will return in small groups once the dust has settled. Was the explosion expected? No, we wouldn't have allowed an explosion of this size to occur if we knew about it in advance. But Rin Lab and the Maylander Foundation's work isn't done until you're back safely at your residence. The enemy has more than one plan, and we have more than one contingency. Very good. I just don't want to see another Triton. Oh, I just don't want to see another Triton in the next in the headlines tomorrow. Damn, I struggled to read that. There's no need to worry. We already have a plan in place for the press. Once again, I wish you a pleasant stay in Tremounts. Thank you. I do really like this soft music. There we go. Is it just me, or did that take especially longer for the victory music to come in? Like it did, didn't it? Like it allowed the soft song to sort of pause for a bit before going in, because normally it's almost instant. And now for the text getting longer and longer. Yeah. Oh dear. Alright, cutscene. So danger rushes in like a tidal wave. Let me just see if I get... Okay, I do. Case investigation. Check invest before, yep. Ooh, 10k, not bad. 20%, okay. New graphic data, greeting gift, new investigation report, mission briefing, technological transformation plus 15%, okay. I'll do it now, just because we'll get to it eventually anyway. C5, okay. Well, I can't do that yet anyway until we get there. I'll make sure to click investigate beforehand. If we get to it today, I'm sure someone will yell at me. Ah, here we go. Okay, I will... Ooh, nice. I'll read this stuff later on. I believe CW5 also give the new silence. I think so. Where's the... This one, right? Yes, it is. The character select for the next stage. Look this side. Silence, finally! Ever since I entered the city, I've been wondering when I'd get to see you. Silence? Ifrit, come over here. Don't worry, Silence. I'm all good here. Good enough to knock out another... good enough to rock out... Good enough to knock out a row of bad guys while carrying you in one arm and running laps around them. If you don't believe me, I'll even carry Saria on my other arm just to prove it. Okay, yeah, no, it's definitely Blaze that's been teaching her. Stop speaking for a bit. You'll affect the drone's readings. Okay. Silence lowers her head to examine Ifrit, just like she used to. With the same meticulous and gentle manner as ever. But Ifrit still feels very nervous. She has never been scared of Silence getting angry at her. One of the first things she learned growing up was that Silence's anger stemmed from a concern for her. She knows that after Silence is angry, she helps her take care of things that were doing her harm, and helps her chase off the things that were scaring her. It was not real anger. But Ifrit is scared of this silence. When Silence does not show an ounce of anger, and rather is quieter than usual, she realizes something must have hit Silence's limit. The skies in Tremancer are always gloomy and grey, and the storm clouds are as big as monsters. No wonder you used to always walk into my room with your hair all drenched. Oh, and hot dogs. Do you like them? The doctor bought some for me and Rosmontis Oh, and I want to try one with strawberry flavoured syrup next time. I mean, I like some of the sweet and savoury mixes that Americans have, but Silence. I decided to come here myself. I bothered Dr. Counsey about it for a long time, and also wrote the doctor a super long letter. I completed all my courses and trainings in the last few years. I can do a whole lot of missions, just like you and Saria. Blood originium crystal density has slightly increased. What are the estimated rates of increase for that and cell fusion assimilation? For now, they're within controllable ranges. We won't know the rest of the results until Ifrit returns to the landship for a comprehensive examination. You want me to return to the landship? You guys still don't trust me. No, Ifrit, I trust you. But there shouldn't be a need for any buts here with Saria around. 4 years ago, it was in this very city, and under that very signboard. I almost lost you forever. Back then, she was at your side too. No different than right now. But I lived. And I've been living good. Saria protected me, but this time I can protect you and everyone with her. Ifrit, listen to Silence. She's your doctor, and you should trust her the most. But I trust you too. I trust the doctor, and Rosmontis too. There's no difference in the amount of trust I have in you guys. Saria, I saw you the other day. You were with that mysterious man in the trench coat at Triton Factory in District 13. And on the very same day, something fell from the sky. so you were there too. Just another Rhine-related secret equipment, right? Of course you won't answer. Because this is you trying to protect me and Ifrit. I like how... I like there's just this circle of people trying to protect each other. Just 10 minutes ago, Ifrit stopped an assassination attempt on the Vice President. What? I'm not trying to conceal information from you, Silence. But what I have on hand is also very limited. There are simply too many different factions involved in this. And all I can do is try my best to prevent the situation from deteriorating any further. Even further. We must put this back on the right track. I've heard that line from Director Saria too many times. You were always in control of the situation back at Rin Lab, but those horrifying experiments kept popping up one after another. There will always be someone hurt by the ambitions of another. And these wounds won't simply be healed by criminal charges and trials. Not to mention, a trial that should never have happened in the first place. I can't help but wonder, when you people finally extinguish this fire, just how many will be left lying in the ruins, breathing their last breaths like Ifrit was? You perceive the situation more thoroughly and clearly than I can, but you still choose out of habit to help them control. You hope to minimize any damage and preferably shrink it until it becomes unnoticeable, rather than put a stop to the immorality at its source. I can't deny that. Saria, I've been waiting years to ask you a question. Your inability to make a genuine stand against Rhine, is it because deep in your bones, you've always been the same as them? The same as Control? Sniper! Silence, get down! Ifrit! What? Saria? White calcium crystals float before her eyes. They had briefly protected her and Ifrit just moments ago, but now they disintegrate silently as the caster falls. Columbia can do without a military, can't it? I'm sure they'll last. Interesting use of music. They're using the skittering music, like something's running on the piano. Confirmed hit on the target. Great. This high-powered energy weapon is capable of blasting a hole open through an armoured vehicle, and yet it wasn't able to penetrate her arcs. This damned Voiva and her arcs is tough as shit. Harder than power armor. And to be fair, the power armor looks shit. You mean to say there's a possibility she might survive? Well, for your sake, it better. Possibility. I'm so fed up with that word. All these researchers tossing it around. What I want is results. Definite results. Then what happened with the Vice President? Maylander won't give us a second chance. The op team is still on standby. Should we order them to withdraw? No need. Give them something else to do. Just like how we dealt with that eyesore of a Voiva. Don't let anyone causing chaos in Rhine to get off scot-free. It's time for these idiots who think they can do whatever they want with just a few companies under their belts to wake up. Oh, the irony of you saying that, my friend. No one can challenge the Colombian army's authority on Colombian soil and get away with it. Move! Blake, I didn't give you Ryan's contacts for you to drag it into the gutter. Which is why you've used your channels within Rhine. The guilty are often the first to complain, Ferdinand. Again, the irony. Are you aware of our current situation? Someone disrupted the intel, and the detonator went off too early. And now, reporters have already spun the story that this has nothing to do with Jackson at all. What did you say? I said the assassination failed. Are you satisfied? Come on, Ferdinand. Put away whatever weapon you're hiding. Do you really think you can even leave a scratch on me? Relax. I don't blame you. Blake pats Ferdinand's cheek twice. Ferdinand expected Blake's eyes to be filled with a murderous intent, but to his surprise, all he sees is a smile. Oh, he's definitely getting shanked, surely. Carrying out an assassination within Rhine, given our current intel, would have been extremely difficult, even without your meddling. And even now, that company's still on your mind. Loyalty to your own desires isn't necessarily a bad thing, though. I'm serious, Ferdinand. It's an admirable trait. You're fit to be a soldier. But now that we've failed, what of it? This is just a beginning. It's a good thing that Maylander has us pinned down. Do you know just how many of my superiors have been waiting ages to strike out against them? Before the situation spirals out of control, our losses will only win me more support. And if things really spiral? Trust me, you don't want to know how things will end for me. I do. Can we see them, please? Of course, I can't guarantee how they'll end for you either. I'm fine with that. I'll stick to our agreement to help you find Kristen. We can still turn the tables once we have her in our grasp. That goes for both of us, and Ryan too. I'll go meet with Jara. Sure, by all means. Also, I've got to say, I don't know what it is with his scar, but every time I look at it and his face structure, I see David Bowie. Or Bowie. I'm never sure how it's pronounced. Because he has the that lightning, glowy sort of face paint on him in one song or one concert or something. I don't know if that's intentional or just me jumping to a conclusion that doesn't exist. But if that's the case, that would be funny because, you know, Bowie, Space Odyssey. Anyway. Let's see if it's luck or fate that will catch up to us first. Squad A, search that side. Squad B, conduct your search over there. Our targets are a hooded figure with no weapon and a feline girl able to use highly lethal arts. Doctor, my terminal lit up. That means it's time for me and Ifrit to meet up, but I can't sense her presence. She probably found Zarya. Our plan has succeeded. There we go. Ryan should be safe for now. This place isn't safe at all. There are too many laboratories here, and they all have the same white walls, just like a maze. Ifrit hates this kind of place the most. Whenever she talks about those memories, her breaths become shorter and her hands get colder than usual. I want to go find her. I don't want to see my friend get hurt. These walls aren't so tough. Just give me the order and I can get you out of here easily. No, we cannot do property damage. I mean, we could. No, not yet. Let's not be hasty. Thank you very much for choosing not to smash up our walls. We imported the materials from Kazimierz. They're very expensive. Well, that explains the soullessness of it. There's no need to be so nervous, little girl. As you can clearly see, I'm only a businessman. Nothing but a fountain pen and a wallet in my pocket. Yes, but I don't like the person that you've freed. It's you. Did we... Wait, is this not the first time we've seen him? Did I miss something? It must have been in one of the previous events. How... I don't normally forget character sprites. I didn't expect to see you here, Director Fitzroy. Sure enough, my next meeting just happens to be around the corner, so I figured I'd greet our guests on my way over. I think the Doctor is just well read. Okay, I was going to say, because the only thing I could think of in which he could possibly have made an appearance would be either Dorothy's Vision, because I didn't play it myself, I've only read the synopsis of it, or Vigilo, or Viligo, you know, the Doctor's event, because again, I didn't, well, no, it wasn't playable anyway, it was just reading, but it was a while ago. Wasn't in any previous event. Okay, so... Right, that just caught me so off guard for a moment. I'm like, did I just forget an entire ass character? Areas C and D have been searched. There's a ton of conference rooms in front. Prepare to check them one by one. Oh, her ears perked up. I didn't notice that before. Enemies in the corridor, and a lot of them too. Give me the order, Doctor. Rosmontes, chill. she seems to be a lot more aggressive this time around compared to before. We have company. A hero behind the scenes to prevent a terrible conspiracy, but soon to become the target of a clandestine arrest. In Colombia, these sorts of stories are common enough, and such a script wouldn't fetch a good price at Rankwood. That is definitely a... that is definitely just that is a slap to Hollywood. They really just called it rank. Like, I know there's a W there, but still rank. For those who don't necessarily know, if something's rank, it means it's bad, or it smells bad, or something like that. So their version of Hollywood being called Rankwood just... At the end of the day, is it a party being obstructed by the establishment and wanting to punish them for it? Or the other party dispatching a commission to let this yet-to-be-exposed deal sink into the abyss? What do you think? Seems like there's no need for guesses here. They all have reasons to investigate us. Our version is the same nowadays. Well, yes, true. I mean, it's an apt description. It's just fighting words. You included, Director Fitzroy. Surely you showed up here at this moment for more than a greeting. Oops, would you look at the time? They're waiting for me to start our meeting. I hope I haven't disrupted your plans too much by stalling you a bit. You sly fox. Doctor, please stand back. I'm going to begin attacking. There we go. Director Fitzroy. My friends call me Justin Jr. Director Fitzroy. Oh, okay. I think it would have been a power move if we just continued calling him Director Fitzroy. The military seeing us together won't be good for you. What if I told them that the young and beautiful feline lady by your side has something to do with a top-secret military experiment that should rightfully be covered in dust and long unused? Is that a threat from an enemy? The choice lies with you. Do remind me, just how many of our excellent employees have you already poached from Rin Lab? Was it 8 or 10? I can get all of them, really. Jara's been thinking about getting acquainted with whoever runs your HR. Since Rhode Island and Rin Lab have been cooperating so closely, the next time we meet, I might even have a contract for you, with an offer you can't refuse. Okay, calm down, mafioso. Wait, now that I think about it, is there a HR? Well, I mean, obviously Rhode Island has a HR, but do we know a character that is dedicated HR as their job? I suppose Calcit. She often looks at the operator records. Maybe she's HR. HR is in the base. Oh, I know the office is there. I meant as in, is there a... So, like, you know, Amia's the CEO, etc., etc. See my previous comfort. Oh, HR is mostly run by a blind and deaf goat. Oh, okay. Cal is medical. Oh, so they aren't operator records that she has, they're medical records. Okay. But she is also the one that sort of decides who becomes, you know, an operator, becomes an elite operator and all that sort of stuff. So I assume she must have some aspect of it as well. Anyway, since Rhode Island and Ryan... Okay, I've seen a bit. Looking forward to it. Rhode Island, thanks you for your interest. Alright, I won't bother you and Miss Feline here any longer. By the way, Doctor, after you get back, please do ask Muesli a question for me. When she goes out to eat, what's her preferred cuisine? Mate, that's a weird time to ask me to be a wingman. Only one conference room left. The target is most likely inside. Prepare to breach. It's empty. Did you hear a sound just now? What sound? The sound of water. Ah, how wonderful it is. It's a lively energy, strong enough to fight even fate itself. Saria! Saria! She's not responding. No way. Her head suffered a serious impact. I know her vital signs are there. She's still in critical condition. She needs emergency treatment. Ifrit, help me lift her arms. Ugh, so heavy. Don't even think about hurting Saria again. Silence. I can burn away out for us, and we can go try and meet up with the doctor. No, the people watching us are definitely also after Rhode Island. Oh, yes, the military is already inside Rhine, and your friends might not be able to protect themselves. Director Jara, come with me, kids. I can't just sit by and watch the other founder of Rin Lab fall here. Mr. Vice President, Congress called back. It's regarding the bill to dismantle those military bases. They're ready to move the hearing up. Ah. Yeah, you know what? Dismantle all of them. In addition, the Justice who reached out to us earlier has hinted that she's willing to cooperate with us to overturn the previous ruling. The military is going to pay for their recklessness. We have an optimistic estimate that Colonel Blake will be out of Tremance within the next 12 hours. Everything is waiting for your decision, sir. A call should be coming in, Pavard. Oh, right on cue. Yes, this is the Vice President's office. Yes, he's right next to me. Yes. Mr. Vice President, it's... Hand it over. I know who's looking for me. I'm going to assume it's Kristen. Alright. I understand. I feel the same. I'm not about to let anyone down at this critical juncture. That's got to be Kristen, surely. Mr. Vice President, about the bill. Shelve it. There's no need to put this matter on the agenda for the next 6 months. Is that an order from the Maylander Foundation? Or maybe a been Tin Man, I don't know. Pavard, how many casualties were there in that mess from your report? We eliminated 30 military operatives. And how much money do we spend on training those soldiers every year? 3 million to train a combat-ready man to DoD standards, sir. 3 million? That can't be a realistic stat. I suppose that could be. How many years do they do training in America? But surely it couldn't be for one. I don't know. I'll have to look into that now, because 3 million is a lot. That's still less than what it takes to max level an E2, though. So we basically just lost 90 million in cash and 30 outstanding talents. That's right. So, there's no need to ask who orders it is. It's a decision that's in the best interest of Columbia. Go get me a meeting with Blake. It's time for us and the DoD to work together. Understood. That seems a bit weird, like you're kind of just sort of bending to... I'll always remember the day the election results came in. When I thought smugly to myself that I could finally sit back at the desk of my dreams, and I received the biggest shock of my life. It takes 1.4 million LMD to level a 6-star from level 1 to E2 level 90. Really? That's gotta be more than that. Or maybe it is just the amount of money in terms of making all of the stuff and promoting. Back then, I almost thought my country was caught up in a huge conspiracy. But I've come to realize that's not what's happening. Columbia isn't wrapped up in any conspiracy, and Maylander isn't the shadow government I thought it was. It's just silly things happening in an orderly way. That's what makes it seem like we've been making real progress. But I'm still just a regular guy. Every now and then, something crazy pops into my head. If I really was caught in that explosion, then would I be remembered as a martyr for Columbia? Or just tossed in the dustbin of history as some incompetent politician? What do you think? The Vice President looks around the empty office, as if waiting for the omnipresent heir to answer his question. Then, the man standing so close to the apex of Columbian power sighs. The military won't be bothering you any longer. So why the long face? Ah, hold. You are a difficult woman to reach. Sorry about that. My boss, who I've not seen in a long time, has popped on over to Tremont. I need some time to compile my reports. I'm afraid the Tin Man has forgot to send me any copies. And that's why I've come to answer your question personally. As long as it's something I know, I'm happy to tell all. Alright. You're the primary representative for the Maylander Foundation's Rin Lab desk, so tell me, where exactly is the main instigator for all this malarkey? Where is Kristen Wright right now? She's in a place that not even the finest of Columbia's commandos are able to reach. A place never documented by the Maylander Foundation. There's nowhere in Columbia like that. It's not on any map of the country, at least for now. Even though the location might overlap with our territory, it is truly out of our line of sight. So you mean... Mr. Vice President, you are no doubt familiar with Project Exploration, an archaeological undertaking spanning multiple years led by the Maylander Historical Association, or rather, our Tin Man. Those ancient ruins buried under the vast wasteland. Exactly. Coincidentally, we also came across this information during a recent raid operation on Rin Lab, Rin-related personnel. Exploration records. Those records are currently in the hands of a former executive of Rin Lab, a close friend of Kristen Wright's, as well as an offshore company with an existing criminal record in Colombia. Ooh. Anyone that we know? And it is the most coincidental thing, oh, we do know it, that this company called Rhode Island has a working relationship with my dear leader, the Tin Man. Oh, the Docs has a criminal record. Okay. Wait, does that translate to the company having a criminal record, though? Because it... Oh, executive of... No, clone... As well as an offshore company with an existing criminal record. That's weird that the company has a criminal record. A water purification and circulation system. You could also call it a sewage drain. It used to have another name, Locus of Sorcery. One of the most primitive weapons of witchcraft from the T-Kaz. So that's its actual full name. To think that it was installed on the Pioneer Team's nomadic temporary housing. Though it's certain that the device's core components have already long been lost. All that's left are the outermost pipes. And you people had a reasonable idea of how to recycle it. Damn, even their sewage is a weapon. They're really leaning into the influences of the real world country, aren't they? I will take that as a compliment on behalf of the Colombians, madame. This country has gone through hard times. During the Great Expansion, when supplies were scarce, every object was classified into only one or two qualities, useful or useless. This may be a medium for some magnificent memories in your eyes, but to the ordinary people living in Colombia, they are useful pipes that will not be rusting anytime soon. After all, no matter how old an object is, or how great an error it has seen, those unable to comprehend by those unable to be comprehended by people of the current era will be no different from scrap. Our own levels of understanding are but restricted by our own time and space. You and I are not exempt either. And the same goes for Kristen Wright. She couldn't have drawn her power from a TCAS-like legacy. And whatever outside forces she has borrowed power from is much more powerful than that. There are still 32 technologies waiting to be ruled out. Most of these are not on the Maylander Historical Association's exploration records. That is a mouthful. I presume you won't be needing my company for whatever is coming next. Sure enough, but this will not affect our partnership with Maylander. Yes, indeed. This has always been your way of going about things. You're hoping that Kristen will not get hold of that technology, but you also hope that Columbia won't be able to prematurely pocket that fortune for themselves. Still the same as always, selfless and neutral. I have one more thing to ask of you. We can discuss that first, madame. Doctor, and those two girls. As you've said, there are some roads that only I can take. So I'd like to trouble you to take care of them when it's inconvenient for me to do so. Oh. I've misjudged you. You have changed after all, madame. You're more humane than you once were. Oh. Was she a lot meaner before then? I mean, she didn't seem particularly mean in her past event. So it must have been further before that. No one or thing is forever unchangeable, Revenant, Mr. Tin Man. All we can do is accept these changes. Oh. Hey Doctor, you good? Should I rein in the water and not let it enter the respiratory tract? Or could it be that my skills have gotten rusty after a long time, after not using them for so long? The doctor probably bumped that hood on something and passed out. Ah, so sorry. It's all because of that Justin Jr. He suddenly dumped a stack of papers on me. Said all the directors have to fill them out or we won't get our funding for next year. Oh, so that's Moo. That was close. I almost didn't make it. Didn't make it to what? Oh, you're awake, Doctor. Hey you're finally awake. Good morning. No, good evening. This isn't Ryan. Yeah, this isn't Ryan. Yep. I was manipulating my water around when I knew you were in trouble. The two of you were about to be discovered when I found you, so I wrapped you up in water and brought you here. I was in a hurry, so excuse the bumpy ride, okay? I owe you one. Yeah. You saved me once, and now I get you back. Oh, who knows whose turn it'll be next? Oh, who knows whose turn it'll be next? There we go. Doctor, I know you just woke up, but I gotta tell you some bad news. It seems like Saria got attacked the same time you were. Is she okay? I'm not sure about the specifics, but that's Saria, you know? Harder than diamonds. She wouldn't be in any serious danger, right? The big question is, what do you do next? You must have gotten the feeling that once the military gives you a warning, they don't give up so easily. I don't know. Given 20 years, eventually things will change. So your situation is here, actually. Rhode Island's situation is far from hunky-dory. Was Montes. Rosmontis? Outside. At the corridor. Someone is walking towards us. Huh? I was so cautious on the way here. The army couldn't possibly have tailed us that easily. Or could it be the Mainlander guys? Like Mr. Tin Can and his pets. Mr. Tin Can. Secret agents like to pop up like that, don't they? Rosmontis, is it the Tin Man? I don't know. I don't feel anything special. The feeling I'm getting is, very normal. Weasley, can you take a look around the area? You want me to send a few eyes out there? You got it. Oh. Get away. No. Bad touch. Finally. Sorry, am I late? I wanted to see you as soon as you got to Tremont. Unfortunately, my work took much longer than expected. You're... Oh, that music. Wait, I remember that mug from the docks. You're Loken Williams. Loken? Yes, it is I. You must have received my letter, Narcissa. Who is Narcissa? My name is Rosmontis. It's my only name. You... No matter. What's important is you've come. To tell the truth, I've been a bit nervous ever since I sent the letter. To see that you're willing to meet me makes me very happy. Makes me a very happy man. You don't deserve it. Oh, fuck off! Ah. Wait, what was else? Nice. Do we get to beat him up in this stage? That would be cool. I don't think he'll do anything, but, you know, it'd be nice to push. Ooh. No. Can I push? No, they don't move. They won't slide down if it's up or down. They have to be pushed. Okay. I mean, that's interesting. I don't know if I really want to bother. I use my push as an auto. Yeah. I think the problem is I've only got 2 pushes and one of them hasn't really been... He does, technically speaking, he doesn't need to be a high level in order to push. I use casters on the central platform facing left. I did see an Ifrit lane. Yeah. What I might do is I might bring Shaw for one side and use Ifrit on the other. There is 2 Ifrit lanes. Unfortunately, there's only one Ifrit. Ifrit facing left in the middle. Oh, as in... Okay. Oh, I wonder if they will swap sides. They might swap sides. Okay, so bottom will go to the top and top will go to the bottom, maybe. That is useful. And if I can block them in the middle, I don't know if it will work that way, but if I can block them in the middle, that could be useful and they just stay there. Interesting. So gravity switches to go with the flow or against it. If you're smart, you don't need pushes. I mean, I very rarely use them. I just see the holes and I'm like, yeah, that could make things easier. I won't, though. I will, however, get Ifrit, because otherwise I will forget. I need to put her in. I still need to... I still need to E1, E2. Have I 7'd? Yes, I have 7'd. Okay, that's fine. No, get away. You wrote the letter. You wanted me to come here. Yes, my child. I even wanted to go looking for you myself. But time is short, so I had no choice but to have a friend deliver that letter to Rhode Island. Yes, Rhode Island, that's what it was. And after the disaster, I heard that organization took you in. Have they been treating you well? They are my family. Dr. Calcit, Amia, the Doctor, Blaze, Radian, and everyone in the squad. They're all my family. So you mean you found a new family? The frail man coughs violently, and his naturally crooked body seems to droop even lower. He stares at Rosmontis as if wanting to go to move to her, but a thin wall of water stops him in his tracks. Good. Muesli knows who he is, and so do you. This is the very same name that crops up many times in Rosmontis' files. The criminal that should have been well behind bars has suddenly appeared before you, acting as a grandparent rushing to visit his grandchild after work. You came alone? This is what I wanted. Nothing to do with anyone else. Fuck you. Let me have a good look at you. You've grown up, girl. Over the past 4 years. No, it should be 5 soon enough. I've thought of you so many times while we've been apart. Whenever I think about the time we were separated from each other, I just feel so sorry. I'm sorry that I couldn't protect you from them. Those mediocre hacks with their superficial goals. They destroyed the future we could have had together. A future where we're supposed to live together. But I don't remember you. Should I have remembered this? I recorded everything I don't want to forget in my terminal. You've forgotten who I am? Have you lost all your memories and forgotten the wrongs I've done? Are you a bad man? Did you do something bad to me? That's not for me to answer, my child. It would make this meeting meaningless. Your memory loss. It should not have been an effect of the experiments. Could there have been another party? Maylander, or perhaps Rhine. Don't aim those eyes my way, Mr. Williams. I'm just a teensy-weensy director of ecology. Besides, even if the old goat was here, his precious code of ethics wouldn't be any worse than yours, right? This has nothing to do with ethics. Rhode Island, did you wipe the girl's memories and manipulate her emotions? I wouldn't dignify that with a response. That's not something Rhode Island would do. Yes, you couldn't have done that. It was my work after all. I was so meticulous that no one could have possibly stripped away such an important part of her when her vitals were functioning normally. Precarious, oops. Oh, I see now. It was me after all. Perhaps I didn't make enough observations. Yes, we didn't have the luxury of time. The pressure of consciousness is honestly beyond anything a layman could comprehend. Or could it be that you passed your memories on to your sibling? I don't know how to answer you. There must be a way. Let me think. Any fragment of an incident is beyond meaningless. Same as the records and data, they all belong in the garbage dump. But emotions, shapes, scents, oh yes, smells, that's it. Why are we letting this guy talk as much as he is? Get away. Floral scent. Oh, sorry, that's her talking. I keep forgetting the lighting up. Floral scent? It smells like crushed juice, smeared on the walls and on my hands. No. Stop thinking about it. I don't want this. Yes, I knew it. I'm still somewhere in your memories. Please, child, bring out those memories. Remember your hatred for me. Let your anger fill your body, your mind, your omnipresent spirit. Stop. Yeah, get out of here. Oh, okay, I guess it's gonna answer that one anyway. Hurting her? No. Her pain comes from the past, not the present. I only want to give her the gift she's been longing for. This is torture. Do you actually understand her pain? Everything you know about her and her experiences is second-hand information from Maylander. Don't you think she has the right to be angry, to hold resentment? Oh, I know. Both you and Maylander are walking the same path. You want her easy to control because you're afraid of her, afraid of a weapon, of reignited anger. Weapon? Everything you experienced with Osmontis in Chernobyl comes flooding back to your eyes. The fights, desperate with determination to live alongside the pain of farewells. Yes, you've heard the term used many a time in the past to describe the feline girl by your side. She felt it was harsh. Yeah, she felt it was harsh before, but this time it's unbearable. Because it came from Loken Williams' mouth. The root cause that led Rosmontis here in the first place. You have many ideas on how to refute his claims. It also occurs to you that if Calcit were here, she would be capable of coming up with an even more extensive response. But another thought comes to mind before your words. Punch. I see, you're outraged by my words. That's fine. You're not willing to think of her as a weapon, but just look at her. She's standing in front of you, even wielding a sword for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 swords, in fact. I liked the punch. Can we do it a bit more? Punch him, push him onto the ground, kick him a few times. He's old, he probably won't last long. Doctor, please, get behind me. My sword might be about to pierce through this building's outer wall. Rosmontis, you... Enemies. There are enemies closing in quickly. I will protect you, Doctor. My mind still feels like it's a mess up, but Dr. Kalsi and Amia told me my mental state is a lot more stable now. They allowed me to protect you. Reenact that scene from JoJo, yes. And this is one thing I can definitely do. Thank you. Doctor of Rhode Island. If you truly care for her, then you should know what she really needs. Just ask yourself this. What are you trying to protect? A soldier that will die for you? Or a child with a traumatic past? The question is not difficult to answer, but it is obvious that Loken is not interested in your reply. From the moment he steps into the room, he has been staring directly at the white feline girl next to you. His turbid gaze full of enthusiasm, sorrow, and a kind of anticipation. Nope, there comes the Cybermen. They're here. Such a pity that this is the end of our meeting. You're not ready yet, my child, but I know you will be. I'll be waiting for you at home. Can I burn it? We happen to have a operator that's really good at burning things. Hold it. You actually caught up? No. You were waiting for me. It was a clone in the room. Which one of you is your true self? The silent one in the room earlier? Or the one right here? And that's not important. Your Originium arts is quite interesting. Or perhaps... No. Forget it. I don't have time for this curiosity. Do you have business with me, Director of Rin Lab? The fact that this chucklefuck is wearing a Rin Lab outfit as well. Where's Kristen? Ah, but you're the Rin Lab one here. Are you sure you should be asking me that? The only way you could have gotten out of prison was with her help. You being here means the work she entrusted to you is already complete. She's done preparing, right? She's really planning to. Pitiful girl. Hey, I'm not about to let a rotten geezer who looks like he hasn't showered in 3 days call me pitiful. Astonished, unwilling, and anxious. You're afraid, little girl. You're afraid of being betrayed by those you trust, and of being abandoned by others. Well, the worst is your confusion. You're at such a complete loss that you have no choice but to ask an outsider like me. Such a familiar feeling it is. When my teacher handed me my research to Mainland, when he expelled me from the academy, when my students submitted all my data to the military before I did, and I had to speed up my experiments leading to that ultimate failure. When my family sold everything we had in DC and disappeared. I saw that very same look in the mirror. Yeah, but you deserved it. My eye bags can't be that bad. I just don't get it. Why would she trust that wretched woman from Mainland over Saria or... Ugh. Are you stalling for time here? If you're waiting for Hull to pick you up, I won't necessarily lose, you know. You don't want me for an enemy, girl. Who cares? We'll just kill you. Huh? Do you really think you could stop Kristen and I just by catching up to me? Or maybe You want to catch me? To catch Kristen? Muesli falls into a daze. Loken turns his back, yet she still doesn't act. Only when the familiar wind caresses her face so mockingly does she realise that Loken is no longer anywhere to be seen on the streets. Oh, for fuck's sake. I let him go. What am I doing? God damn it. He should have died in that room. Muesli? Oh, Doctor. I'm right here. Heard everything you said, crystal clear. Yes, sirree. Did your clone manage to stop Loken? Clone? Yes, my clone outside. Doctor, you guessed right. They couldn't have let such a terminally ill old man come here by himself. Before his assistants got him away, I only managed to get one thing. Loken Williams is definitely involved in Kristen's plan. The secret that Mayland... Yep. Puzzle pieces are overlapping. And they're pointing right at Kristen Wright's hideout. Doctor, your terminal. There's a new message. It's from Maylander. What a quinky-dink! I was just wondering when we were going to see the Tin Man again. You got roughed up by the army because of him, so it's only right that he should make it up to you, isn't it? Osmontis, are you ready to proceed with the mission? Yeah, I'm fine. Muesli. Huh? Thank you for helping Rosmontis. Ah, our cooperation is far from over. So, you're going to wear... Oh, so you're going to wear out those words if... So, you're going to wear out those words if keep standing on ceremony, you know? Okay, I couldn't understand what that said. Doctor, do you really trust me so much? Did you say? Nothing. Alright, let's get moving. Silence. Is the temperature okay? Not too hot. You're controlling it very well. Sari's body temperature is stabilized, and she should be out of danger. Ifrit, you should rest for a bit. Using Originium arts for a long time will wear you out. No, I'm staying with Saria. I still remember back in the White Room. She kept me company when I was stuck in that bed. I was always in pain. My mind was totally messed up, and I couldn't stop myself from burning everything I saw. I don't even have a clear picture of every visit. I just know that every time I opened my eyes, she would be at my bedside, and I felt so relieved. So now I want to stay here and keep her company. Even though she won't open her eyes, I'm sure she can feel that I'm here. I'm sure she can. She just needs a bit more sleep. Something still feels off. What's wrong? I just realised Saria isn't that much taller than I am, and also her palms are soft. With such pretty nails too, just like your hands, Silence. Yes. Saria is, of course, an ordinary human. I'm afraid she's quite far from ordinary. Director Jara. She prefers to solve problems by herself, without a word. She always keeps a straight face that deters people from voicing their opinions. Would you like to make a guess at just how many employees from Defense I had to offer psychological counselling year after year? Are you unhappy with Saria? Unhappy? One year I asked Kristen if she was set on transferring a researcher to make the head of the defense section. Guess what the woman there did when she found out? She threw 36 listening devices onto my desk, and right in my face, shattered them to pieces with her newly developed arts. An unfortunate thing, as a couple of them were operating on behalf of some of our dear government departments. They were just a little wary of such a rapidly progressing tech company. I was happy to share some controllable information with them, to get them to ease up a little. I spent some time dealing with the trouble that came with the incident, but who could deny the determination and skill of that young voiver? I guess Saria has always been like that. Sure enough, many years have come and gone, and if you compare her then and now, it doesn't seem like there's much development. Like there's been much development. She's the most resolute and determined woman I've ever seen. I've known. Well, same thing. Determined as well. Whoever said she wasn't? I've watched she and Kristen walk their paths, and I'm well aware just how decisive and strong she is. But even such an outstanding individual can't stand against the whole damned country. If you let her take on these obstacles she hasn't overcome in all this time, she'll only be smashed to bits. Here. Car keys? Take Saria and Ifrit and leave, before it's too late. Saria wouldn't want that. No, she wouldn't. But I'm not talking to Saria right now. Aren't you the type to go innocent lives shouldn't be put at risk? This girl shouldn't be involved, and neither should you. No one needs to die here. I need a bit more time. Director Jara? I'm afraid we're out of time. Take the secret passageway out, now. What's wrong? An old friend has come knocking. Ugh. This conference room. Whenever we had meetings, Parvis would sit by the window. Muesli likes to sit in the middle, and you, Director Jara, you sit here, furthest from Kristen. And you're the same as before, always standing right behind somebody else's seat. How nostalgic. Would you like something to drink? Red wine? Or should we pop open the champagne? Is there an occasion? Of course. Mr. Ferdinand Clooney? Really? Mr. Ferdinand Clooney is enjoying a career upgrade, and also returned to Rin Lab. Sounds like a cause for celebration. You think I'm here as the army's guide? No, they have their own plans for Rin, and I don't approve at all. Because I know that if something happens to the Vice President while he's here, that's the end of the company. Christian can ignore the existence of Rin Lab, but not me. The event today went off without a hitch. Don't play dumb with me, Jara. You may not know just what kind of people run the army. They could repeat today's adventure any time they want. So before those savages rip a dozen years worth of time and effort to shreds, can you just tell me the truth? What exactly is Kristen doing? Did Colonel Blake not tell you? The very first day Dr. Wright disappeared, I handed every document about Control and her projects over to them. And for the record, it happened more than once. I worked days of overtime just for this. Dr. Wright. As if you two have the most ordinary collaborative relationship. Should I show Blake the picture hidden in the darkest corner of your office drawer? Or has our dear HR director already come up with an explanation as for why she's hidden the New Year's cards little Kristen wrote her 2 decades ago? That's just an old photo. Kids aren't as cute and well behaved after they grow up, Ferdinand. Oh, Ferdinand, you know that better than me. That sock in the jaw at site 359 still smarting? Smarting? I've never heard of that. She's gone into hiding, like a child clinging to her favourite toy. Except it's not a toy, it's a goddamn super weapon, with some real forbidden secrets behind it. So you should find and drag her out, if you still care about her. Or would you rather watch her die for the vaguest of ideals? Even if I could bear to watch her go that far ahead, how do you suppose that stopping her is within my power? This is Kristen we're talking about, Ferdinand. She'll take everything you have. Do you think she would ever leave such a major weakness? If you really want to treat the relationship between me and her as a vulnerability, so easily within your grasp. Good. Great. You refuse to cooperate. And what about the others, for example? Saria. You rescued her, and you've hidden her somewhere around here. You're so willing to talk to me, just to buy her more time to escape. Let's say she manages to escape. Who could she even go to? Rhode Island, caught up in the same mess, or that group of Maylander agents who love spinning webs just as much as you do. I have no idea what you're talking about. The military just picked up a new piece of intelligence. Saria, as well as the company behind her, Rhode Island, are suspected of helping Kristen steal classified information pertaining to national security. Maybe working at Rin Lab for more than a decade has made you naive enough to assume your old boss was some hero of justice. Oh, here we go. Well, time to destroy the military. So somewhere here. Yes.
It's my duty to stand here.
Your orders. How's that?
I should have brought 3 vanguards.
I'm ready. Can't you hear the children's cries?
Hellfire! Locked and loaded!
Your orders.
Shriek all you want! Nobody cares!
Oh, they fly. Oh, that is just unfair. Oh shit, she's losing health. There we go.
Your orders, please.
At your service.
Get in the line of death!
This is somewhat unfortunate.
Can't you feel the cities crumbling away?
Now's the time to help everyone out.
Oh, this is very unfortunate.
Solid positioning.
Okay, this will be fine.
I'm ready.
I'll take the lead. The rest is up to you guys.
Get in the line of death!
There we go. Yeah, I'll do it now.
Big guys, who's next?
I bet it's so good.
I love how these enemies look just as ridiculous as they do in the sprite art. It's yoink. Yoink.
つにしちゃうから。アップルパイ。I'm so tired.
Doctor, leave the big guy pop! Kick ass! Get in the line of death!
Okay, this should be fine. Okay, just 6 more.
Keep screaming!
There we go. I love that. I love I love that operator. The usual stench of the sewers, and spots where the light doesn't reach. These alleys are all the same. Urban planners probably can't afford to invent new ways to do their jobs at the speed these cities pop up in the barren lands. Mizuki would have done better than Ifrit with this strat. Yeah, probably. So, oh, that explains why having a fast redeploy would have been useful, because then I would have swapped each one. Oh, okay, I see. It's just too bad that you miss out on the local scenery if you use these nooks and crannies too much. Am I right, my good subordinate? Isn't it better to get a view of the city from above? A gust of wind blows through the empty alley. Pull? All the unexhaled smoke rings swell back into the cracks of his metal. The Tin Man wonders if this is an opportune time to hack a few coughs, as if choking. A lighter floats right in front of him as soon as the embers of his cigarette die out. Banal is such a lamentable assessment of the city for a city like this with no history. Hole. You were supposed to make contact 3 days ago. Oh? I had the impression that you're not particularly punctual yourself. If you could just tone down your volume. Why did you pick this place for our meeting? What's the buzzing all about? Did you forget? The factory in District 13 is close by. Did you find the item from the other day? Yes, but unfortunately, there are only fragments left. Fragments of stars, with no way to guide the lost. And Kristen? Where is she? Well, are you watching the sky? You get a clearer view of the sky without the skyscrapers around. Do you think Kristen might be hiding in a star up there? If so, then how are we supposed to find her? Hull, you went into the library 2 months ago. I'm a historian. Isn't it basically my job to visit libraries? We're talking about Laylanders. We're talking about Maylander's library here. I don't recall authorizing that. You know I can't contain my curiosity. Just like right now. If I could trouble my employer with a question that I've been awfully curious about. What is it? Your smoke. Other than the clouds you puff out, the few wisps that slip into your body, where exactly do they go? Is this why you have the tip of your tail on my chest? I smell my favourite scent on you. History. So, if it's at all possible, I'd love to get a good look at every piece of your body for my research. This could get very kinky very quickly. Where should I start? Your head? Chest? Extremities? Whole. Do you really think that... Oh, do you really think betraying the Maylander Foundation is the right choice here? Of course not. Maylander holds most of this country's secrets. And in Colombia, secrets can be traded for wealth or used as murder weapons. I spent 3 whole years before I finally managed to get into the Historical Society, and spent another 3 to gain your trust. Do you know what 6 years mean to me? Being a Maylander agent has already taken 1/7 of my life. Then you shouldn't be wasting the rest of it behind bars or on the run. Yes, I know. 1/7, that's not a lot of time. And yet, if my time here isn't enough to embrace what I've been yearning for my whole life, then what difference does it make if I live another 10 years or more, or 1 more minute? Read a file, you know why. Okay. 6 times 7, do the math on stream. I mean, I've got a calculator here, that's kind of cheating. Yeah, 42 though, that's not... $42. Okay. Okay, game. Okay, of course it'd be 42. Maylander won't let anyone, least of all a defect agent, to access information they shouldn't be accessing. Better or worse than 69? Well, I mean, 69 would have been funny. At the very least, 42 matches what it's supposed to be. A shame you only have me to see in your last moments. Then I can only pray to the stars that the dead won't speak so easily. Fine. Let me switch up the question. Do you really think you can kill me? I'll never know until I try. Huh? Your air manipulation shouldn't be affecting me. No. This isn't a... Don't say the joke, Karma. This isn't a Cthulhu ability at all. You know me so well, don't you? But fortunately, I'm not exactly completely clueless as to who you are. Ordinary arts have no effect on you, but... a curse. The power of the oldest sarcasm witchcraft. A soul-imprisoning curse. It's been an awfully long time since you've had a taste of something like this, That 1 year when a Maylander agent went deep into the bleached wasteland to investigate the ruins of the Sarkaz Royal Court, and suffered an unprecedented life-threatening injury. I didn't expect Maylander to leave those files intact. You can't fault that I ventured into Maylander's top-secret database just for Kristen. I did remind him that documenting everything isn't necessarily a good habit to leave all the time. According to you, only the long-lived would have such an extensive memory, while the rest of us just want to grab as much knowledge as we can, though naturally come up with different methods. Otherwise, how could we short-lived beings hope to resist the control of people like you? If you really want to destroy this body, you probably need a little more time. I have 2 minutes to spare. So, You're not even going to come out of hiding to greet me. Banshee. Hello. Weren't you just talking about how unwilling you were to show yourself? That's where the curse is. Like I said, I have no interest in watching you murder your own boss. But it's more than just that. Oh? Old acquaintances, are you? Personally, not at all. But my blood knows him. Fascinating. I've been over it many times, and this guy here doesn't smell sarcasm. Be careful of any tricks he might play. I don't want him to resurrect right after all the trouble I've gone through to kill him. I won't let him interfere with the next step of the plan. I can't do it. A delicate trap you've laid. I had guessed that hole might have planted something in the sky, but I didn't expect a banshee's curse to be hidden in the noise of the construction site. My blood has taught me the power of words, and the sound of machinery clashing and colliding is the language I hear most. An amazing talent to have fooled even me. There are only a few banshees, including those in the royal court, who could make me suffer like this. Were you born in Kazdel, or the Valley of the Banshees? It doesn't matter. My blood is not pure enough. I haven't experienced any grand events either. Right now, I'm just an engineer living in Columbia, doing whatever I want. Have you found a home in Columbia? What about you? So many years have passed by in a flash. I've heard that over the past 2 centuries, those 2 youths, Teresis and Teresa, have finally built Kazdel as a nomadic city. Have they now? Interesting. I don't even know myself what Kazdel looks like today. Are these streets still as crowded? The flags hanging on the city walls unchanged for a millennium, the undying furnace in the core still as hot as ever. This guy is ancient. Can you relight my cigarette, child? This little spark can't hold the remaining warmth of your soul. I know. I only want to stay a little longer to ask you a few more questions. He really has. He's got the classic tragic arc of a film noir detective, especially with the oh, I forgot what they're called. What are they called? The women that end up being the downfall of the. Oh, think back to English lessons. What are they called? Oh, I've forgotten the name of it now. Oh well. Femme Fatale, thank you. What did you see in Kristen's dreams? The future. Has she actually promised you a change to Sarkaz's fate? Do you believe she can do what no one has been able to accomplish over the past millennium? No. She only showed me a possibility. A possibility that came from within myself. Alright, engineer girl. If I could just trouble you to ask my darling employer if he has any last words. The fire is almost out. Time moves too fast for an old man like me. The last question is mine. An ancient one like you must have seen the fall of many Kazdels, and surely you must have thought of and searched for a place. Oh. Where is the Sarkaz Promised Land? Promised Land, Time's up. A silvery green tail shatters the Tin Man's sigh with a strong burst of wind. The last spark fizzles out at the same time the cigarette hits the ground. I don't like how that was the exact same note as the meme of the person playing Heart Must Go On, or whatever it was called, the Titanic theme with the in the recorder. That was the exact same starting note of the meme. A bone whistle sounds. Tremont has never heard such a sound. Neither the residents in their deep sleep or the office workers working overtime will be aware of what has just happened, other than those who have made an appointment. Rosmontis, did you hear that? Huh? Logos was too busy to come to Tremontis, right? My terminal says Logos had a lot to do. He hasn't trained with me for a long time, so I haven't been using my full strength in my sessions. Don't make things too hard for Mechanist. I know. My devices are like the Rhode Island cabins. If they break down, it takes a long time for Mechanist enclosure to fix them. Before we left the landship, Radiant told me that Logos would come back with Amia soon. I miss Amia too. I miss her so much. Doctor, will we be able to see them after we finish this and return to Rhode Island? I hope we can see them soon too. Doctor, did you make it there? Yes, the messenger says we're meeting in this alley. I think the Tin Man should already be waiting for me. We'll go home soon, I promise. The alley is dark and silent, like an abyss. Something rolls from the murky shadow. Perhaps it's due to its material hardness, but as it rubs against the ground, it eerily resembles a cog out of its wheel, a frightful rattle echoing through the darkness of the night. It rolls straight into the alley entrance, where light and darkness meet. It turns out to be a metal head. The upper half is usually obscured by the hat's brim, and the mouth on its lower half often has a cigarette exhaling rings of smoke while spouting words that are at times perceptive and at times incongruous. But now there is no cigarette, no hat, no trench coat, or even the parts that should be presented past the neck. There is only a head. I would take it easy if I were you. After all, if you do make any moves, I can't guarantee that your head won't end up rolling along with my employees there. Let's get to the point. Sure. Two things. It's time for Rhode Island to end your excursion in Tremontis. And the other, as you've just seen, the leader of the Maylander agents, the Tin Man, has been murdered. We need a culprit. And you've picked me. Should I feel honoured? Your frailty certainly affects the credibility of the idea. But the mundanity and perfectly enigmatic vibes of Rhode Island makes you an excellent target for Maylander investigations, even if just for a bit. You want to buy Kristen some time. You want to buy yourself some time. It won't do you any good to look for any other secrets, okay? It's not like I can run. It never hurts to get a better understanding of each other. Or do you want to employ your expert negotiation techniques to list a number of reasons why I can't do anything to you? Look, let's be real here. You were employed as an operator. It clearly worked. What a pity that Tremontis is not Toronto, and your opponent is not some black-hearted farmer. I've had my eyes on you ever since you stepped into Tremont. At first, none of this had anything to do with you, or Rhode Island at all. Even if you and Saria are moving in the same direction, role-playing as heroic fighters, why haven't you dispatched a few more men, like that good old mechanic, to mop things up quick? If you're not going to talk, then why don't I tear your chest open and take a look at the secrets hiding inside? The silvery green Liberi approaches. I still don't understand why the game refers to her as a Liberi. I mean, she technically is, I guess, but... Her plumage scrapes the fabric of your hood, emanating a soft but piercing sound. Those sound like... That sounds like an oxymoron. How can it be soft and piercing? You know, at first I thought you were the same as those other eccentric scientists, trying to find some sort of revelation about the future in Kristen's research. After all, we're such a silly species, aren't we? Limited lifespans and unlimited ambition. We? Who is we? You speak in French? The moment we realise the limits of what we can accomplish in our short lives, we become willing to surrender our arrogance for just a moment and beg for a shortcut. But on you, I smell no trace of that desire. What do you dream of? And what of your past? I'm becoming very interested in you now, Doctor. But unfortunately, my colleagues are about to show. Hold your friend's head in your hands and enjoy a captivating session with Columbia's top agents. You might find yourself astonished. Think through some answers to my questions during your interrogation. I hope I don't give you the chance to run. Oh! Oh! Oh, that was... At first I got really excited because they showed the Doctor on camera, but then the sudden change. That was like a double whammy of surprise. I was like, oh, oh! Wait, why are you here? Oh, I don't think I've seen that facial expression before. Did this hood cover... Oh, did this hood ever come with a guarantee of who would be under it? A water clone. And now they come and she is the only one here. Ugh. Any more tricks up your sleeve, pathetic elf? She comes in, ruins people's plans, refuses to elaborate, leaves. Doesn't matter, Doctor of Rhode Island. We will see each other very soon. Doctor, there are a lot of people rushing towards that alley. They're Maylander agents. It's a good thing you used your brains and borrowed my clone for that meeting. Otherwise you'd have fallen into that horrible woman's trap for real. She's definitely left evidence implicating Rhode Island. You heard everything she said over the comms, right? Did we make enemies of both Maylander and the military? I'm afraid so. You're not joking, are you? Doctor, if you and the Tin Man had any plans, now would be a good time to share them, you know. Your silence implies... Wait, Doctor, you can't mean that he... Something really happened to that mega mysterious super agent in a trench coat with a tin can for a head. I heard a banshee's bone whistle. How's a bone whistle? Wait, banshee you say? Of the sarcasm variety? Yes, you know, as opposed to a banshee of the feline variety. Was it for Kristen? Did she... Muesli suddenly falls silent. She looks up at the sky above Tremontis. Why did I say Tremontis? Huh? There is nothing up there besides thousands of stars. You cannot help but recall Holt's question from earlier. Why did you come to Tremont? What exactly is the dream that she's chasing? Quick, silence, over here. This alarm. Did something happen to Director Jara? Silence, are you okay? I'm fine. Saria. I'll help you carry her. Your face is all sweaty. If Saria doesn't wake up now, they're gonna catch us. I was gonna say, wasn't that the sounds of them going into the box? Don't push the blame onto Saria. But your face. You look like you're about to... I'm fine, Ifrit. I just happened to remember what happened earlier. I watched her fall in front of me, and my very first reaction was not worry or surprise, but regret. Because you were mad at her. Yes. If that really was the last conversation we ever had, I didn't want to think that I was blaming her. Actually, I've never... I don't know who else can hear me out. Then just patch things up. Huh? And then, when Saria wakes up, we can go back together. How about it? The fact that it took years and then a literal child in order to get it through your thick skull, that you can just, you know, talk. She'll return here the moment she wakes up. That's the sort of woman she is. Fine. I think I get it. Neither of you are going to go home, are you? That's right. Then why not work together? Work together? Yeah, Silence. Even though you got some new gear on, you're still a doctor. If you keep running like this, you're going to get hurt or even die. I know Saria is a great fighter. Even I've started to know that teamwork's important, yet she still likes to work alone. If it weren't for us, Saria would have been in an even worse situation now. Neither of you wanted me to tag along, but at the very least, you gotta promise me that you'll work with Saria. Otherwise, the two of you will worry about me rather, and I'll worry about you guys too. Here for it. Just say yes or no. I'll even behave and go back to the doctor. Just promise me. Some words are easier to say when you're a team, right? Where did you learn all this? The doctor past taught me all these people skills. I'll think about it. Great. Silence. What's that over there? Oh. A transmitter. That just appeared? That sentence was odd. I don't quite... The doctor past taught me. Maybe they wanted to write passed on, and they also wanted to write taught, and it ended up just saying past taught instead. I've done that a couple of times where I've wanted to say two things at the same time, and ended up saying both at the same time by mistake. It's all silvery and flowy. Real pretty. Don't touch it. Ifrit, that's very dangerous. Dangerous? No way. More than my flames? It's another product of Ryan's experiments. For real? Then I'll burn it up. No, just wait and see. Don't be too quick to destroy it. A small lump of silver substance gushes inside the test tube. Ever since it left Parvis's home, it has lingered without a target direction, as if it has lost its hub directive. As if its only mission is to lead her to Parvis. Professor Parvis never does anything without purpose. His appearance earlier, couldn't have just been him wanting to chat with me. He deliberately led me to think he was the goal in this race for the transmitter. Could it be the truth was never... Silence, the door's over here. Ah! How could... Did someone spot us? Stand back, Ifrit. Oomst. Oh, calcification. Saria, you're awake. Hooray! But I'm fine. You're not bluffing a doctor that easily. I'm just holding this door until it's safe enough for you to leave. QED. QED, I'm perfectly fine. I can't remember what QED means. The military mechs are closing in on our position. This path is no longer safe. Oh, I don't think I ever knew that acronym then. Quaderat demonstrandum. There we go. Quaderat demonstrandum. Okay. Director Jara. She wouldn't hand over the information that easily. And so, there is only one possibility remaining. "10 minutes. They should have run into Blake's people by now. The old Saria would have probably stood a chance to escape unscathed. However, she's injured and carrying 2 extra burdens. Want to guess how long she can last in front of a fully armed Special Forces unit? You are underestimating them, considering one is a literal flamethrower and the other... Well, I don't know what the other one does, but she's probably quite powerful too. Wait, did I read that bit? Oh yeah, I did. Your phone is ringing, ma'am. It's me. Of course. I'm always willing to serve Columbia. Thank you for the advice. By now, you should be willing to believe me that I did try my best. I tried my hardest to just to secure this opportunity to talk. If you had agreed with me earlier, then our defense director's life would at the very least not be in danger. There we go, Jesus. But you still sent them on that path, to that secret passage known only to Mainlander agents. Saria might die because of you, and the next one to go may well be maybe the one you're most concerned about. I'm hoping from the bottom of my heart that you think the question over. Where the hell is Kristen Wright? Rue didn't want to finish about that. I will admit, there was a short montage of every moment I've seen her get smashed into a wall during the manga, just flashed into my head, as I was just thinking, actually, I don't know what she does. Her sole role in the story so far is to be yeeted around. Director Jara works for Maylander. I investigated her 10 years ago and found nothing. It was only when the Tin Man showed up and I left Rin Lab that I got more clues to confirm it. She's been at Rin for a long time. She knew Kristen even before I did. Ifrit, attack the window on your left. Gotcha! It's so sturdy. The glass in the experimental lamp is all reinforced, so ordinary impacts aren't going to be able to smash it. Burn! And if we break them now, we'll attract the attention of the soldiers downstairs. We can use my fire to cut through the glass. I can control my flames already, so I'll be able to do it. Ooh. The teacher mentioned this in my Originium Arts classes. Fire can be tempered, be silent, and become a quiet anger. Who on earth was teaching her? The fact that that almost sounds like something you could hear Tallulah say is the concerning part. Make my flames into a sword. Make my flames... Make my flames into a single thread. Yeah! It cracked. A little bit. That sounds loud. You split the enamel. Saria, just hold on a little longer. I'm halfway through. I can do it. Focus, Ifrit. Don't get distracted. When you were unconscious, Director Jara told me that there's no way you can fight against the entire country. So, if it is as you say, that Maylander and the military have come to some kind of agreement, then we truly are facing the entire country right now. Yes. Your heart rate and body temperature are spiking near their limits, and you've only just woken up. Your body has taken a serious toll. Perhaps. Saria, you're at your limit. Silence. Jara modified your drone. I've seen the prototype blueprints. When did you... Its current load-bearing capacity is at least 2 adults for a short distance glide. Get out through the hole, if it opened, and the drone will be able to take you to the roof of the opposite building. You'll have to act fast. I'll wait for you to go over, and then I'll exit through this door and divert the pursuers. Their numbers are many, and I won't be able to fend them off for long. Saria? You still haven't given me an answer. Your inability to make a genuine stand against Ryan, is it because deep in your bones you've always been the same as them? The same as Control? Sorry, Silence. I thought it through, and I'm unable to give you a definite answer. If Kristen's experiment violates any laws that shouldn't have been broken, I will stop her. Just like all the wrongs Ryan has committed over the years, the wrong should be made right. For I've always believed that the stronger one is, the less rash... the stronger one is, the less rash they should be acting. But if I were to return to the past, back to when Kristen and I first met, when everything had yet to happen, I would not have stopped Kristen then. I would not have stopped the birth of Rin Lab. Yes, even if I knew Rin Lab would create so much suffering in the future, even if I could foresee the ambitions of Kristen, Harvest, and Ferdinand growing out of control, I would still stand with them. Yeah, I'm... But I suppose... I suppose at the same time, though, wouldn't the diabolic experiments would have kept happening without a Rin Lab anyway, because it was a government project. So technically, if Rin Lab had never existed, if they never did any of this, Saria would have never found Ifrit. Yeah, Rin Lab wouldn't have been working with the with Hayden. Was it Hayden or whatever? But someone else would have done it instead. So those events probably would have still happened, except this time there was no one to save her. So it's one of those sorts of things where it's like you can regret what happened, but sometimes it's best not to. Saria, your answer might be even more definitive than you think. Silence, Saria. Did you guys see that? I opened it. Go, silence. If there's anything else you would like to know, we can wait until this is all over, and I'll tell you. All right. Silence? Silence? Why are you spacing out? We've got to get moving. Huh? Paula Berry, none of this has anything to do with you. What exactly is it that you want? Truth, justice, or peace? I will tell you what you want to know. And yet, even if you know it all, what can you do? This is not the answer I want. No. A drone's belt. Oh, this song. Silence, what are you doing? The whirring of a drone starting up comes from behind. Oh! I love that when that happens. That's like the second time I think that's happened. I just love it whenever they do that. Oh, this is the Dorothy's Vision song. The unreinforced door at the end of the corridor is about to melt under the impact of the energy weapon. Saria is suspended in midair, holding Ifrit in one arm, stretching the other out towards Saria, trying to grab her. Surely the drone can't... bless. Surely the drone can't carry 3 of them, though, if it's only loaded for 2. But Silence doesn't return her grip, and retraces the path she's taken in reverse. I should have talked with you sooner, Saria. I only just came to understand why I can't help but get mad at you. I thought it was from the falling out we had during the Diabolic Crisis, or that I'm dissatisfied with the way you insist on shouldering everything yourself. But actually, the one I'm most annoyed with is myself. The blame I push onto you for not doing enough is only because I built a habit of depending on you. I had hoped you could change control, just like I once hoped the Professor could save Ifrit, and that control could change Rin Lab. I had hoped every deadlock would be solved by someone stronger. I'm so weak, aren't I? On the other hand, I loathe the powerful figures that manipulate everything and treat innocent lives like expendable resources and numbers. On the other hand, I still pin my hopes for the future on people stronger in not just power but also morality and empathy. Only now do I understand that no one can truly carry everything on their own. That it's beyond the capacity of a single individual. Everyone who has been willing to help me on the way here, Rhode Island, Director Muesli, Director Jara, and you. All of you want me to stay out of it. If you hadn't collapsed in front of me, if Ifrit hadn't been in danger, I might have just obediently thrown in the towel. But now, I won't back down. I refuse to allow myself to stay under your wings. I refuse to accept that I can only stand in vain as the gunfire rings right above us and open my arms to the injured. This time, I'll step into the flames before any of you. Is this just a long-winded, I'm a healer, but... The drone sends the two to the lower floor of the neighbouring building. Saria smashes a window and they land smoothly. There must be more of Ferdinand's people on the lookout downstairs, but as long as there's room for action, she believes she can find a way to break through the encirclement. However... Silence! What are you doing? Silence, hurry up and fly over here with your drone. Ifrit anxiously yells at the room across, but Silence takes a long look at them before turning her back. Just as Silence begins to turn, Saria gets a look at her eyes. They are brimming with regret. But more than that is determination. Anyway. Bored. Ferdinand, we've got someone in the corridor. She says she has business with you. Silence? Why are you? I'm sorry, Director Jara. I've already made up my mind. I have unfinished business, so I can't leave just yet. I remember you. Parvis's stellar student. You and Elena gave me such a headache back in Site 359. Yes, my name is Silence. I would like to make a deal with you. A deal? Do you really think I would let Saria go? This isn't up to you. No. This is the only thing... No, this is the only thing that's up to me. There we go. That's... transmitter from Site 359. What are you doing? Even if you put the transmitter into your body, it's not going to work. Joffrey's hub was destroyed. The new hub is in Kristen's hands. That's impossible. That was my experiment. Mine and Dorothy's. A short while ago, I met Dr. Parvis. His laboratory was storing a large amount of transmitter. Director Clooney, you must have realised it long ago. You just don't want to admit it. You would rather believe your failure was owed to a bad move than to believe that Control was playing you from the whole time. Did you really never consider the possibility? She's the one that's working more closely with the military. She had countless ways to kill your experiment with Dorothy in its infancy. But then, why did she show up after your experiment succeeded? Only. We still have a chance. Whatever Kristen is trying to do with the transmitter, she hasn't succeeded yet. Director Clooney, bring me to her. The transmitter is inside me. I'll become your beacon to locate Kristen. Okay, not bad. Let me just have a quick look at this one. Okay, interesting. I think I'll probably leave it. I know it's leaving it on an odd one again because I don't get Silence's thing, and I do miss the daily thing. Well, actually, I can't do the daily thing anyway, because I've only unlocked it though. It's fine because I can I get 2 more for here, so I'll be able to do this one maybe. I don't know. I'll have to see. But unfortunately, I just don't really have much in the way of time. It's 11 o'clock here, so I'll have to go to work in the morning. So I'll leave stage 5 and onwards for the next stream, which I think will be Thursday. I think. So at least 4 more streams. Fucking hell. You don't have to do the mission on the day the mission doesn't expire. True, yeah. I'm just thinking more so in... I won't lose the investigation. I'm just thinking more so in terms of will I have time to complete all of them. That's the thing I'm mainly worried about. Because the longer it takes to not do that one is... But it'll be fine. I'll work it through anyway. I've got plenty of time. It's like, what, 2 weeks now, I think. But, yeah, it'll be fine. You can just, you can only stock up 4 investigation tickets, though. Yeah, so I'll have to work things around, but I'll be able to do it. Maybe you can do the stages first, so you can move on with the event, then read. I might. I'll have to see how it goes. I don't really want to do that, though. The event lasts 3 weeks, you got 2 more. I'll be able to do that, then. I'll be able to get most of it done within this... week, I think. But yeah, it should be fine. But yeah, so I think I'll leave that now.
Call me whenever you need me.
Okay. Let's see what these are. What do they give? Okay. Not... Okay, pretty good stuff. They give me, pretty high level materials. Looking forward to suffer S stages again. Yeah. I don't actually know if I've done an S stage yet. I don't think I have. I sort of... I do the story. For the permanent side stories, I will go back and do the EX stages every now and then. I haven't yet to actually do an S stage. That's something I'll need to go on to. But anyway, I'm going to leave that here. And, so I'm most likely going to be back on Thursday. I won't be streaming on Wednesday like I originally said I would, because, I'll be joining Cat's stream because he's doing a celebratory stream. I think it's 2 years anniversary of being a VTuber, so I'll be on his stream for Wednesday. So the next Arknights stream will be on the Thursday, and that'll be where I will continue. I'll probably try to do a bit of a longer one, and I think I might try to stream on the Friday as well, and that would be a longer stream as well because it being weekend. But that's my general idea. Anyway, I'm pretty much devoting all of this week and probably most of next week to Arknights in order to get this event done. And then I might take a slight break before continuing with Chapter 11, just, you know, to avoid burnout, but it should be fine. But until then, though, thank you guys so much for coming around. I'm honestly having a blast with this event. I'm really liking the story. It's really interesting. And I look forward to continuing it with the rest, continuing the rest of it with you guys. There we go, that's what I meant to say. Until then, though, bye-bye.